What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. Doing a stream today. Thank you all for joining me as usual. This is Marco. I'm your watch cardinal. I'm going to go through a couple of the chats. We got Tim joining us saying upvoted. Thank you very, very much. Ali Reza reminding everybody that I'm a great wingman. Thank you so much. And we got John Windsor joining us. We got Marty Evans. Thank you very much. Can you start this stream early, please? Unfortunately, no, I can't. We got Wine and Wear podcast saying upvote for the Pawn of When Waiting. No chance. We got Todd Levin joining us, who joined us the other day, saying watch in the thumbnail. For those who ask, is both versions of the Recep Rechepi Chronomètre Contemporain the first iteration? That's right, because the next iteration should be coming out now. He did update kind of the movement, so it's going to be the second iteration, if you will. But yes, thank you so much. We got Juan joining us. We got Mick Lovin. We got MM. Perth Luxury is in the crowd. Thank you, Perth. We got Jimmy. We got Joe. We got SBSB. Hello to everybody. We got Jimmy again, Marty, and of course, Watch Maven. Hello, guys. I'm going to drop the link in the chat if anybody wants to join me. I'm, of course, wearing, as I'm sure you well know, the Bruce Wayne. Now, funny enough, guys, I went to go get a haircut today, and my barber, God bless him, he's actually, starting to get into watches. He had, mostly shitters, if we're being honest with one another, like stuff like Panzera and that kind of garbage. We got Wings and Watches joining us. What's going on, man?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
All is well, man. Thanks. I was just telling the story. I was getting my haircut today, and my barber is actually starting to get into watches. He's got mostly like shitters, if we're being honest, like Panzera and stuff like that, like really bad stuff. But he's looking at a Lange Sohne Hydro Conquest as his first like kind of real watch. I was like, man, hey, shit, 100%, no question about it. On a bracelet from Lange Sohne, diver. I told him get it pre-owned because you can get it way cheaper. That's the way to go, no question.
It's a great entry piece. It's better than the Invictas out there, right? So
right. And it's funny because so many people now getting into watches, getting into the hobby. I think it's great. It's like such a misunderstood hobby, but it's once you get into it, you get sucked in and there's no going back. We got Luis Molina saying the top 3 Patek sports watches, Marco. This for me is, I guess kind of easy. I would go the Patek Aquanaut, the 5164 is the dual time, right? The travel time. I like that one the best. Then I like also the 5980s, the Chrono in rose gold. I think you can't go wrong. And last but not least, I think I would go for that's a good question. Maybe a grenade, like a grenade or the blue version of the grenade. I think those are probably my top 3. What about you?
I actually have to agree with the travel time. I absolutely love those. If I had to pick an Aquanaut, probably the Advanced Research.
Ooh, yes, that's a good one. Yeah.
I love the blue. Yeah. And probably a 5711, the anniversary, the 1P, the platinum with the baguettes.
Yeah.
It's I can see why it's worth the money over the regular one. So it's
and it's definitely an interesting shade of blue as well. So yeah, very good. We got D Stifle saying no back. Stop it. We got Wine and Wear podcast saying yo Marco, keep growing the community. That's very much appreciated. We got Grand Sicko in the chat. We got LDA Sense with the $1 super chat. Thank you very much. We got Grand Sicko with the $2. Thank you so much. We got the Watch Guy joining us. Hello. Hope you are well. I'm going to drop the link again if anybody else wants to join us. But yes, Perth is asking why no Nautilus. Well, the 5980 is a Nautilus, right? It's the Nautilus Chrono. Yes. So yeah, those are my picks. Probably the top 3. AC Morgan joining us, and we got Ari G. Hello, Ari. How are you, man?
Very good. How are you guys doing?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, so what do you think, Ari? I was just telling the story, my barber, right? Because I went to go get the first proper haircut since COVID started because I got my grad pictures coming up on Monday, right? So I need to have like a semi-decent haircut. That wasn't my dad doing it. And yeah, he's talking about getting into watches. He wants to get the Lange Hydro Conquest, the perfect starter watch.
A Lange, you know what? A lot of people like to poo-poo Longines. I actually think that they make, you got to choose carefully, but I think they make decent watches for sure. I don't think that they're, if they hit a certain price point, and if you're getting started, like, look, blowing 2K even on their one of their lower end chronographs, that's a lot of money for people that are used to spending $100 at Walmart for their watches. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a big deal. So, but I agree with you completely. That's a nice, that, or even a Hamilton if they want to get into something, mechanical. That's a decent path in as well.
And we got the wizard joining us. What's going on, man?
Evening, gentlemen. Good evening.
How was the dinner?
I was good. Italian, the best.
Of course.
We got Shot in the Dark joining. We got Frank B, Toyota Mo. We got Grand Sickle with the $2 saying the red Singapore Aquanaut. Listen, that's a great watch. Personally, red just isn't my color. So this is the red. Red isn't my color. I'm more of a blue guy. Blue's my favorite color. That's why I like the Bruce Wayne over the Pepsi. But listen, I understand and appreciate still.
Yeah, that's Singapore edition.
Yeah. We were just talking about Stefano and Ari. If you guys want to jump in, what are your top 3 sports Pateks? I said the Aquanaut 5164. I would go the 5980, which is the king of chronographs. And then the last one is the blue kind of white gold, like the grenade, but in blue. So those are my 3.
Because they made that in blue as an anniversary, did they not?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. I like the Aquanaut, but with orange in the world time, I think it's called.
Okay.
I like that one too. I like that one too.
Right?
I like that one too. Yeah.
Okay.
The orange
one.
is really
what about the other 2?
5990.
Okay. I can respect that.
I know it's way out of the range, but which other one? I don't like the plain Nautilus. I'd have to go with sporty, another sporty one.
There isn't that many. Am I wrong in saying there isn't that many?
There are. I mean, there's some sporty-looking Pateks.
Right. They only have 2 technical sports watches, right? It's
Nautilus Aquanaut. But what's the one that that we showed that we said it looked like?
Let me change this up a little bit. Maybe I undersold it. Forget the 5164.
Yes.
Actually, I like the travel time.
Mm-hmm. I love
like
that.
The what's it called? The blue Aquanaut. Just the blue. I forget the bloody reference, but the blue Aquanaut. And the last one I would get. The let me pull it up. Let me pull this one up. This is the last one I would get. I fiked up because this is the third. This should be the third option. Third. That should be the third.
You know what?
Oh yeah, me too.
That should be the third.
That's 5712. Which one is that?
That's the perpetual Nautilus, the 5740.
Yes.
It's almost, and I'm going to ask almost a philosophical question a little bit here. It is so nice, and there's so many rich with so many complications. Is it still a sports watch?
No.
In the way that we talk about it, Yeah,
well,
yeah.
It's actually one of the first stainless steel high horology watches.
Yes.
D Stifle asking graduation pages. Marco graduating high school.
I was waiting for the peanut gallery to kick in with that.
That's the guy. That's the stoner from. Oh my God! From that movie, Last American Virgin.
Nice. We got Toyota Mo with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Toyota Mo. We got Friday Night Live with the Cardinal. That's right, guys. Friday Night Live.
And you're talking about the 5167, kid, the blue one.
Yeah.
The 5167. Yeah. That's the one. But there's the grenade, and then there's the blue
which is the green one.
Right.
The Singapore edition, like you, I'm not crazy into red. That's Mr. Wonderful. Kevin O'Leary would love that one. He probably has it.
It's a bit much.
It's a bit loud.
Mm-hmm.
But Singapore, Asians, red is a prosperous color, right?
Yeah. So, it's a taste thing. Yeah, I don't love green watches, but the green that you just mentioned.
That khaki is nice. It's different.
That khaki, yeah. It's different. I actually like that.
That's what it's all about right there.
Yeah. This is nice.
That's sexy.
I agree. This is beautiful.
That'll get it done.
Yeah. But you know what? It's interesting. I've never worn one of these, but people who tell me that they've worn that before, they all say it's like, it doesn't feel as expensive as it is, like people get kind of confused when they put it on from what I've been told, but I admit I've never worn that watch myself.
By the way, did you guys know that? Well, I don't know. You guys are we're all Canadians, but he's a Montrealer, Quebec vet. What's his name? Doug retired from Humberton.
Look at this.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
Longines Scotch. What do we think? Or is this whiskey? I don't know.
Oh,
It looks like it's Woodford Reserve.
so it's a bourbon.
It's a bourbon.
Yeah.
It's a bourbon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What
You know,
What's
Sorry,
What's the love of your life to watch by Vacheron? You said
Oh, the Corne de Vache?
Coron de Vache. Can you show me that one more time, please?
Let me get it for you.
I admit I don't get the love for that myself, but I understand
It's not for everybody.
It's a taste thing, and I
Right.
respect that.
Oh,
So it's got the cow horn lugs. It's a 2-register chrono from Patek. Manual wine, of course.
oh yeah, you go the limit, man. You go even to manual wine. Wow.
Of course. I always prefer manual over automatic. That's why I like that Moser on
Yes.
because it's manual wine, and I like first of all, it's the smallest size that Patek has made. It's the kind of movement itself is kind of it's beautifully finished, and it's very much exposed. A lot of it is exposed. You see the open gear train. I love it.
And
But
which
yeah.
site did you find this on?
The Corne de Vache?
This one you clicked it. Oh, there it is. That's.
Oh, it's just on Google.
Oh, it's part of the Historiques collection.
Yeah, it's part of their history.
Okay.
We got somebody new joining us. Hello, AC Morgan. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much. Are you missing our friend Drew? Or are you missing our friend?
Pardon me?
No, never mind. I just asking if we're missing our friend. Where is Drew? Drew Peacock.
I dream about Drew every night.
Calatrava is the greatest sports question of all time. It's a great watch, no question about it.
Yeah, Calatrava.
We got the Stefano Sig counter.
All right.
With the one.
Omar.
With the one. We started.
Omar, you should rename yourself. Omar, you should rename yourself to Sig.
You are wrong saying, Marco, you want to birth your Pepsi and explore original. Now you said the only Rolex you'll buy is a Daytona. Okay, so let me get into this, right? Because I think there's some misconceptions over this. So I wanted the Explorer because at the time it was before it got discontinued. It was pretty cheap, relatively affordable, right? Mm-hmm. So bear that in mind. Then I said, you know what? Why am I going to get an Explorer? Just go, balls to the walls, get the Icon, get the Submariner. So I got the Submariner, right? Then sure, I wanted the Birth Your Pepsi with the birthday stream, right? But then MJT said, listen, if you want, I can get you any modern Rolex. I said, okay, listen, the Bruce Wayne is my favorite modern Rolex.
Beautiful.
I don't love the Panda. The Black Dial Daytona is my second favorite. Maybe financially it would have been a better decision, but this is the model that I prefer. This is my favorite modern sports Rolex. That's what I asked for, and he got it for me. So, listen, you know what I mean? If I could have got the Birth Year Pepsi, I would have got the Birth Year Pepsi if MGT never offered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's vintage.
Right, exactly. They're different watches, and it doesn't mean that I won't add a Birth Year Pepsi.
No, you never know.
Nico actually has a 16700 Swiss only dial that he showed to us from.
Bulgari. Oh,
that's a nice watch.
Nice. Very très chic, très
chic. Is that
chic.
A jump hour?
That's very
jump hour with a retrograde.
That's awesome.
And a retrograde date, right? At the bottom?
Yeah. No,
wow.
That's the seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the seconds.
Yeah. So it's retrograde seconds, retrograde minutes with a jumping hour. And
that's
it has the Gerald Genta name at the base. It's not focused.
Yep.
So it's right at that transition 2010.
I want to get to your collection in a second because I know you
interestingly
said you don't have any Rolex. You find them soulless, right? So I do want to get to that.
Wait. Where did you hear that from?
Yeah, I just want to get a couple of super chats. We got Jason Martin with the $5. Thank you very much for the super chat. We got Otis saying, "What's up, boys?" Hello to Otis. Logan Hall, thank you so much. Jason saying, "Marco, what's up from South Florida?" Shout out to everybody from South Florida. And we got Stefano with the $20 saying, "Towards the Corne de Vache fund."
Really
I know this doesn't even cover a stitch of the strap. LOL. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it, man. That's greatly appreciated. But listen, it will come into, I kind of, since that Todd Levin stream, right, where he spoke very eloquently, he talked about having foundational pieces, right? Those foundational
anchor pieces.
Exactly. He called them anchor pieces that you
Yep.
build your collection around. That kind of changed my perspective. I don't even want the Moser anymore. I'm like, shit, I got to get the Corne de Vache because the Pan, the Bruce Wayne, and the Corne de Vache, those will be my anchor pieces. Two of them are the stories, and then the Corne de Vache is, I mean, my grail. You know what I mean? That's the grail.
So
at least the intermittent grail.
If you don't mind me asking, Marco, what makes it your grail? What makes it so special to you? Is it the shape of the lugs that really is that really it?
That's part of it. It's also one of the original manual wind chronos. Those were, I mean, extremely rare watches from Vacheron, right? It's not everybody who had those. I mean, we're talking about like the highest members of society owned those watches. There's maybe only a couple hundred in existence of those vintage Corne de Vache. And since they re-released it in steel, they did the Hodinkee limited edition. That was super successful. And then they ended up doing it kind of all in steel. I think it's just absolutely knockout. And it has the movement inside is the Lamagna 2310. So the 3-2-1 movement, which went to the moon, was used in the Patek 5070, Breguet chronographs, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's really the reason, right? It's the story, the history behind it. And
it's a perfect confluence of history, design, and just functionality,
historical,
and story,
or logical history.
Yeah, Marco released that in a salmon dial.
Yes, they did a one-off. Actually, it's a piece unique.
Right, that's very.
A one-off. They actually did a one-off dial. I know somebody on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen it before. Yes, we got Watch Out saying, "What is everyone's opinion on the Rolex Sea Dweller?" I think for somebody with bigger wrists, like Stefano, I think it's perfect. But for an average Joe like myself, yeah, it's too thick. That's the problem.
Too chunky. It's too chunky, too big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as wide in dimension, but it's very thick.
Yeah.
Personally, I like the James Cameron because I like the trend.
There it is.
It's not a suit watch.
The anchor pieces. That's what it's all about. The anchor pieces. But I guess
somebody's saying hello to you.
Yes, hello to Todd Levin. I hope you're well. So AC Morgan, let me ask you. I guess since it's your first time on the show, maybe you want to talk.
First time on any stream, anywhere on the internet, on anything.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
I didn't even know my computer could do this. So
gotta love your tie-dye, man. Love your tie-dye.
You like the little ink spot way hat, right?
Yeah, you got that right.
Let me
bring me back to my days.
So I wanted to ask you, maybe you want to introduce yourself a little bit, talk about how you got into watches, maybe what's in your collection and what your collecting philosophy is.
I've been a collector of lots of things beyond watches, antiques. I was an antique auctioneer. I had a jewelry store. I was a goldsmith. So really, I started out mostly collecting like antique glassware, like Tiffany glass, Lalique. In fact, I'm working on a channel about those kind of items as well. And, the watches that I had, I started when I had a jewelry store. And this was 1988. And that's, I had everything was that gold kind of polo look.
Yeah, Piaget polo.
And I did a hand chip face for it, where it had the little serrations where it kind of called diamond cutting, so it matched the band. So I started with that, and then probably the first watch that I purchased was an Omega Constellation in quartz. We're talking 1989 at that point, and but I always liked Rolex, but honestly, it wasn't in the budget. And I did end up I sold all my watches. Since an auctioneer, I can buy and sell whatever I have. And I bought it was a Datejust. It was white face with the gold Roman numerals, two-tone, fluted bezel. And I love that watch. It's a beautiful watch. It really is beautiful. But I get bored with things a lot. I think it's the conquest. It's the hunt for it. That is the excitement. Great. And invariably, once I get it, I'm like, and then, okay.
What's a watch?
That's nice. Next, you try to fill your emptiness with material things, and it doesn't always work. But I think my my horology journey or watch enthusiast journey started probably about 2008 or 9. I lived in a neighborhood in Austin, Texas, and the gentleman in the neighborhood, he was a distributor for Martin Braun. Remember Martin Braun? You ever heard of Martin Braun? And he also was a distributor for like Aquatech or something like that. It was a watch that used a lot of diamonds. And he had this Martin Braun on. It was a chronograph. And it had the beautiful coin edge going around it, kind of like a brigade. And what is that? I was just so taken by it. And he showed it to me, and that was my first, watch purchase because, I'm interested in watches now. And so then it started, basically the disease started. And I bought a President, 18 karat, so 36 mil President, the classic gold face. And I wore it, but I was always worried about denting it because, unfortunately, as a merchant, you're always thinking about your things as what can, if I sell it, what can I get for it? Or I want to get the most for it when it comes to selling it. So I got rid of it because I just felt, I think I paid like 12 or 13,000 for it at the time. I said, that's just too much money. I could have 2 watches for that. So I ended up getting a bluesy, and I think I bought from Barber, which I didn't even know who he was at that point, off of I think it was a Rolex forum. I've been on the Rolex forum, I think, since about 2007 or 8. And I bought the JLC Master Compressor, the first one. And so there it began. And I just been buying and selling watches ever since then. So when I'm talking about soulless, I was just kind of teasing. Each their own, whatever, trips their trigger, you should go for it. I just, I don't know. I just, when I wear a Rolex, I seem, people ask me too many questions and I don't want to answer questions. Is that a Rolex? And then you're
is it real?
Is it real? And that, that's a big deal too. So now I've been hitting pretty heavy in the last probably 3 or 4 years. I think I've purchased maybe 4 watches in the last 4 months. So somebody's got to stop me.
We got Cool Chris Cali with the $2 saying can't go wrong with the C Dweller 43 or the C Dweller 4000. I definitely agree with the C Dweller 4000. Wears amazing on the wrist. A C Dweller 43 just a bit. The proportions are off to me. They're just too big for my wrist, but I don't think it's a bad watch. You definitely can't go wrong with either. Again, it all depends on your wrist size. No question about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no question.
So Martin Braun, I always liked the EOS with the salmon dial. That was a great piece. Very retrograde with the offsets and the blue screws and the blue hands.
Sunrise and the sunset.
Yeah, sunrise. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
One on Chrono.
That's something I think even Watch Cardinal would love because it's very his quirky style, his very independent style.
There's I think there's an actually a solid gold one on Chrono 24. I think it's like under $10,000, like $9,000.
With the salmon dial?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, gotta look at that. Okay.
And I was interested in that watch because the more complicated, the more bizarre it is, the more I like it. And the distributor said you don't want to touch that watch; they have a lot of problems.
Well, it's okay. You have a good watch master. You can touch that watch.
I don't think Martin Braun's making watches anymore. I know he had a collab with another watchmaker.
Yep.
And I don't remember what it was called, but I think it was both of their names on it. And then I haven't heard anything since then.
Chrono 24.
Interesting. And so 4 watches in the last 4 months. If you don't mind me asking, what did you get?
Yeah.
Let me open up. They're actually in my Chrono 24. Well, I can tell you the last one I got was Omega 300M blue face. I'm a blue face guy.
Oh, nice.
It was on the blue rubber strap.
Oh, wow.
Man, have you seen the boxes those things come in?
I have one.
Oh, they're okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The box is just beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the presentation of the watch is very important.
Yeah. I mean, their presentation in the box and everything, it's beautiful. Agreed.
And then right before that was a Breguet 5827 with the they call it a black face, but I think it's more gray, more charcoal color.
We got Mark P with the 20-pound saying bed reckons as it's late and I have reached the exceptionally tender age of 55 today on the 14th.
Happy
Love
birthday.
Stefano, by the way. Such a cool guy. Would love to join you guys one day soon. If you do an earlier stream, have fun. It would be a pleasure to have you on, Mark. And of course, happy birthday, 55 years old.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Enjoy the watches and congratulations on the birthday. I hope you get spoiled, my man. I hope you get spoiled with some more watches.
I'll have a drink for you.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Love it.
So let me ask, of course, because once you get the watches, you always ask what's next. So obviously there's phases kind of watch collecting, right? So you kind of added many pieces very quickly. Are you looking to just enjoy them for now? Or are you looking at the maybe consolidation phase, consolidate and upgrade type of thing? Or
I have a Zenith El Primero Defy 25 skeleton with the blue face. And it's a beautiful watch, but when I put it on, it just looks like a toy to me. It doesn't look classy. So I'm thinking about getting rid of that. Believe it or not, what I've been looking at it is a Rolex, because I went into the Omega and then I said I might as well just go all the way back into a Rolex. And if I get a Rolex, it's going to be a two-tone bluesy or a two-tone root beer.
Like the root beer.
But still, at the 40 millimeters, it's still a little small for me. I
know the feeling.
43 guy. So.
Okay, interesting.
But I love Breguet. It's probably my favorite brand. I just picked up right before the 5827. It was a 58. What is the smaller one? The Marine 2. 5867. I don't remember. With the blue face, the one that you cannot get. I had it a few years ago. I sold it, and I was kicking myself in the ass ever since because I just love that watch. And it's only 39 millimeters.
Watch, very difficult to justify getting it back. You know what I mean?
Not for me.
Once it's gone, it's like you can add it back, but it's never the same experience. You know what I mean? It's like going back to an ex-girlfriend. We got $5 saying happy birthday to a great man, Mark P. Pure class, 100%. Agreed, man. Great guy. I know the Wings and Watches want me to pull this up. We got the Ferdinand Berthoud FP1. How'd you hear about this?
I was doing a lot of research, and one of the gentlemen that I met today actually referred me to this brand. He said, if you really, really like high horology, check this out.
Yeah. And
all day, I've just been trying to wrap my mind around it. There's one that actually has a guilloche gray dial that's similar in color to what Vacheron does. There you go. NF Boujour, and it kind of gives you like a little blend, but it's...
Yeah, so interesting thing. I don't know how much you know about Ferdinand Berthoud or how much people know about Ferdinand Berthoud. He was actually a watchmaker, I think back in the 1700s or something like that, making mostly marine chronometers. And they obviously started a brand. They're one of the very best independents in the world, no question about it. This is actually a really interesting watch. It has both a tourbillon and a chain and fusee. So we're talking, like the highest level of complication in a watch like this, which is, mental, absolutely crazy. And the level of finish on this is really, really spectacular. So here, let me bring up a picture. So if you see just the finish on like how slim the tourbillon cage is, all the incredible finishing on the bridges, and of course on all the wheels, all the spokes of the wheels are individually polished. I mean, it's just, this is another level of horology. You know what I mean? We're talking like this is right up there with Grupo Forsi being, the best in the industry. No question.
So Marco, remind me, there's no horological benefits to Tourbillon beyond bragging rights, correct?
Not anymore.
Well, gravity.
Not anymore. There's only two that I know of that honestly have real benefits. It's Grupo Forsi angles their tourbillon. I believe it's at 30 degrees, which actually has an anti-gravity kind of that actually has like some sort of anti-gravity purpose. How it works, no idea. And then the other one I know of is FP Journe, his vertical tourbillon. So when you set it down on a desk or if it's on your wrist, it's always kind of in the same positions and it's always kind of acting as that gravity defying. But otherwise, your wrist is technically your tourbillon, right? Since you're always moving your wrist, it is the anti-gravity mechanism. So
gotcha.
Yeah. One of the most incredible watches they made is, I don't know the name, but here, let me look this up. Ferdinand Berthoud. It's a remontoire with a chain and fusée. And it's just crazy. Here we go. Here it is. So it's the FB2. So if you look at it, first of all, this is all like a hammered type of finish to the dial, just granular. So this has a remontoire, which is a constant force device, basically that drives a deadbeat seconds on the dial side. And there's also a chain and fusée. And it's the first watch that I know of that combines the two mechanisms in the actual watch itself. Super complicated, super complex. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I think the dial of the watch, is an ugly watch. I'm going to be honest. I don't like the case. I don't like the crown. The dial for the price is, a little lackluster, but I very much so respect the amazing kind of workmanship and the amazing
horology.
That goes on behind it. No question about it. Yeah. Right up there. Very best.
What are you talking in price?
Expensive.
150.
It's expensive. Yeah, probably close to
up
that.
there. Yeah. See, I think the awesome thing with something like this is having something so special that
210,000 Swiss francs. 210,000.
So 230,000 US.
Right. We got Omar with the $5 saying, AC Morgan, you are a legend for dropping $200 in super chats to get Drew shirtless that one night. Most memorable streaming moment for me. Yeah, 100%.
Don't tell him, but I made a copy of it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no one.
It's
will,
what
no
I
one
look
will
at
know.
before I go to bed every night. Just kidding.
No. Hey,
he was a good sport for doing that. I was just teasing.
For sure.
Right. It was funny. Listen, it was just funny. Omar, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Greatly appreciate it.
Omar.
We got Todd Levin disagreeing with me. He said best in the industry. Certainly the best finishing in the industry. Listen, you can disagree with me. Hey, you can disagree with me. I'd love to get your perspective. But I would say probably the best finishing in the industry.
What's Todd's perspective then? If that's not the best in the industry, what's your opinion then, Todd?
There's different reasons for something being the best. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, best finish probably Grupo Forsi. Level of finishing, yeah. We got Perth Luxury saying, no silly, Jacob and Co. Gyro tourbillons, please.
Yeah, the Disney one with Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Before you go, you see on that the Ferdinand there that you have up?
Yeah.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. But
yes,
isn't that interesting? You see that little skeletonized, looks like the minute hand? Is that skeletonized or it is?
Yeah, they both
It looks
are.
like that second hand, the ball on the second hand when it goes around will actually fill that circle.
You might be right.
Oh yeah,
that's a good eye.
I see that too.
Yeah, it's an interesting design. Yeah.
That's a great eye.
Well.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you are right. Yeah.
Cool beans.
Interesting.
I guess it's something that you have to see in person to really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. This is just, look at this.
What the hell, man?
This is like no offense, but
that's.
Are we supposed to take this seriously?
No, please don't.
On Facebook, you can buy those for $39.95 for one, $24.95 for two.
And $19.99 for three.
Isn't that crazy? As people fall for it, you see the statements. Oh, I bought three. Yeah, now they have your credit card number and you're fucked. Excuse me, I can't say the F word. We're screwed.
We got Cool Chris Cali reminding everybody to hit the like button. Todd Levin saying Ferdinand Berthoud sells for 150,000 Swiss francs at auction, so about 40% discount at retail. Yeah, 100%.
Fair.
You don't buy these new. There's very few independents that are successful at both retail and on the secondary market, right? And Ferdinand Berthoud, unfortunately, despite their very small level of kind of output, they just don't hold their value.
Don't say that too loud because Watchbox will start collecting those too now.
Now, I do have an unboxing to do. I have a couple of unboxings.
Ooh.
The first one is from...
Ooh. Pride and Pinion. Pride and Pinion.
Nice.
Very nice.
I got the cloth, guys. I got the cloth. The cloth. I haven't used it yet, but I will use it and will give you honest thoughts and review. I know everybody says that it's amazing. So
I have the COVID killer. The COVID killer.
I don't see why I wouldn't have the same experience everybody else has. But the other unboxing that I have is
Oh, let me guess. You got your Panerai strap. Oh,
Ooh,
God tier.
I got
Did
it.
you
This
get,
is another
did you get
one
your-
from the community, guys. The community.
Did you get
The
this?
community God tier rainbow.
I feel so left out.
Yeah, how did you
Time to get a God
You need-
tier.
You need a G-Shock.
I gotta
to
be
be
part of the
cool club.
group.
You got to get a
Community.
G-Shock, my boy.
Yeah.
It's hard to-
This is what I've gotten is a Tissot. I got that new
And then everybody
Tissot
said
you
you
gotta get
That's
one.
not God tier. Not to Nico.
Here we go. Ooh, look at this. We got Toyota with the $5 saying, asking for a friend. He's thinking of selling a fluted bezel 41 millimeter Wimbledon with a new warranty card. He never wears it anymore. 10.5 USD fair. No question. I definitely think that's fair.
Yes.
They're about 11.5 to 12.5.
Yeah.
I've
Let me
seen
take
some
my
at
watch
13.
off. Jeez, I have no space on my desk. No.
Did you see the time teller critique on the Wimbledon? How he loved it, but then he put it on and he hated it.
Yep.
On the what?
The
Time teller?
yeah, he did a
Oh, yeah.
critique on the
Jory
Wimbledon.
Goodman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. He's
He loved it
Face.
until he wore it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And to
he
be
has a-
honest, I had gotten
that's
one
what
last
happened with the Zenith.
6 months ago, and I was like, no. Well, I just tried it on because
Yeah,
the
I
client
did try
ordered it.
on. When I got my Datejust 41 a few years back, they gave me a choice between a Wimbledon, just like Rolex's, and the one I had with the sticks. And at least for me, I much preferred the one with just the sticks. I didn't like the
Definitely.
Wimbledon. Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
busy.
It
little
has
bit,
the one
exactly.
stick, and it just is unbalanced.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it.
What do we
right
think,
across
guys?
from
Oh,
it,
you got the
Ooh.
clear one.
Very nice.
Oh,
You got the
nice.
clear one.
had to be different.
Congrats, buddy. And
I
you
said
can
that
read
was
it
all-
because
I
the
said
white
that was-
hands and the black background dial. So
yeah,
yes,
I like it. The only thing is this fucking strap is huge. So the what's it called? The thing
keepers.
hangs off.
Oh,
Does
that's
it
right.
come with two
Your wrist
keepers?
that's right. Your wrist is really small, isn't it? That's right.
But it's fine.
it's
Only
supposed
the
to come
rim.
with two keepers.
Mine?
Maybe
Let me
one.
check mine. Let me check mine.
Hey, it's a great beater. Great
No,
beater.
mine only has one. Mine only has one.
Yeah, I only have one keeper. Only one keeper. But yeah, I just want to come back to this Toyota Mode. 10.5 US is definitely fair. And if you're not wearing the watch, no question about it. I definitely think you should sell it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna use my teeth. Fuck. I don't have a
Cavity.
knife
No.
around me.
You need a knife, man.
Hope Nico has a dental plan.
Oh,
That's the only thing we're not covered in Canada.
to be
There's no
young
dental
again.
plan.
To
If
be
you
young
only-
again.
You know, if you only had a Chris Reeve knife by your desk.
I know. What
Yeah.
Or
I-
a spider coat, or a SOG,
Exactly.
or a
Exactly.
mini cold steel.
There you go. I should have done that from the beginning. Use the key, because if you had a brain, and used it, then I would have just done that from the beginning. There we go.
Marco, from all the watches that Todd was talking about, which one's your favorite of those independents he was talking about?
Definitely the Millennium. The
The
George
Millennium, right? Okay.
Yeah, probably the Millennium. Yeah, I'll pull that up in a second.
Now, good luck. Spend an hour to read the damn book so you can set the time.
I think the time is already set. Just kidding. No, it's not. Well, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. And I think Yeah, 10.5 is definitely fair. Just look at Chrono 24. Chrono 24 will give you an accurate assessment of roughly what your watch is. You know what I mean?
How much is it inflated though? Because it is always inflated a bit because they're compensating for their fees. And
yeah,
stuff.
But how much inflated is it? That's the thing. It's not that much inflated, guys.
Like 5%, would you say?
Yeah, like 5%, 10%,
maybe 10.
Yeah.
But the problem with Chrono, man, 30
Chrono
watches, and you'd be lucky to find 5, 6 that they actually have it in stock.
Yeah.
We got Big Sal with the $5 saying, hello, gents. Congrats on the G-Shock. Time to do some yard work. Yeah, I got some yard work to do with that watch on the wrist, right? Says, welcome. Thoughts on A. Lange Sohne, the 205.086. Let me put it up. 205.086. Stefano, are you good over there?
Yeah, I just had that extra glass of wine, and red wine makes me a little,
Yeah, I'm not gonna go on forever. I'm gonna do a pretty short stream.
Oh, come on, we love that.
The Aventurine dial,
Yeah.
white gold Lange 1 or white gold Lange Saxonia. Do I like it? Personally speaking, I think the proportions are just a bit off. I like the Saxonia more in 37 mil than in 40. Like the dial proportion to case to bezel is just a little off, in my opinion. It's too much dial.
I was going to ask. So you think it's too much dial? Interesting.
Yes, too much dial.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful dial, but
it's a gorgeous dial, but it's too much of it. You know what I mean? The watch is so simple.
And that's speckled. It's not a piece of stone. It's a sterling silver dial with enamel paint and then speckled.
Nice.
So it's literally artwork on your wrist.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Isn't it a stone? Aventurine, isn't it a stone?
The Aventurine is a stone, but they call it that because the real Aventurine stone looks like that. But that's a sterling silver dial with speckle.
Okay, interesting.
Of course, it's not Suzanne Raw that makes the Patek Philippe poisons.
I actually didn't know that. I thought it was a stone that they cut and that they use as a dial. You know what I mean?
Instead of a meteorite, let's say, or instead of tiger eye or black onyx. But
that would be a good assumption. That'd be a fair assumption to make.
Because it looks like Aventurine stone.
Yeah, exactly.
AP's code 1159 actually uses that stone in their timepiece, I believe.
Today, Adrian was unboxing a code 1159 chrono with burgundy. Well, not today. I mean, it was today on Instagram.
They're so nice. I don't understand why they're hated so much.
What, Lange?
No, the code 1159.
Oh,
no,
they used to be when they first came out. They're starting to rise. They're starting to rise.
I gotta be honest, guys. If I'm buying something from Lange,
that's it. That's mine. Lange 1. That's the one.
You know what? This is interesting.
White dial.
Love it.
I usually don't like this kind of thing, but in this configuration, this is really nice. It's clean, but it has the complications at the same time.
It's only bigger in millimeter, man.
Yeah.
They make them so small. I love the big date. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, it's really nice. They really did a good job here.
You can instantly tell what brand it is just seeing it, right?
It's a design language, right? They have their own design language. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Logan saying, Marco, you're about to meet Tim's Frederic Constant dentist doing that. Yeah, man, fucking tooth. Fuck, I should have been careful. We got the watch guy saying the dealer is getting a great price. He'll make a large margin. I mean, what can he say?
People are allowed to make money. Yep.
Well, yeah.
I mean, listen, dealers got to make money, and if you can,
got to put food on the table.
Yeah.
Right. We got MJT in the house. Hello, MJT. I hope you are well. We got Watch Maven with the $5 saying, in honor of the stream, I purchased Stefano's Rainbow God tier.
Yes, nice. God tier.
I do like that rainbow. It is nice.
Yeah, so I took it off the wrist already. I gotta have the
Bruce Wayne.
I'm telling you, Bruce Wayne is not one much.
I'm a watch. That's why I sold the G-Shock originally. I never wore this thing, you know what? But hey, I will wear it. You know where I will wear this? I will wear it in London.
In London.
Yeah, that's.
I am bringing no nice watches to London.
Don't do it.
You don't need to. You don't need to.
Don't worry, Nick will have a whole showcase. He can lend you one of his.
I'm gonna bring a 2-piece combo deal.
I love that Arabic dial, man.
This was actually gifted by a viewer.
That's a cool watch, believe it or not.
It's very cool.
Sorry about that. That was a drug delivery.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm
I'm in
in
Don't hide.
California.
Hey, don't hide, divide. Ain't no fun if I don't get none.
Right. We got the watch guy saying, I would start by asking the dealer 11.5. I mean, why not?
There's nothing wrong with asking. The
Yeah.
worst they'll say is no.
Right.
What dealer? What are we talking about?
I think for the Wimbledon.
For the
Oh.
Yeah.
the date so it's fluted Jubilee.
Yeah, so
Wimbledon
it's
dial.
more expensive because it's 18
Actually, no,
karat gold.
it's not Jubilee. It's the oyster bracelet.
Oyster but fluted bezel.
Yeah.
Fluted bezel. That's yeah.
Yeah,
you can
that's
ask
the
for
one
more.
that I passed on.
The white
I
gold,
think
that's the white gold.
it's either
yeah.
smooth bezel oyster or fluted with Jubilee. That's the way it looks good.
Mhm.
And the Jubilee fluted looks more dressy, more,
Right.
I love yours, Ari, man.
Yeah.
That's
Simple,
good. That's
simplistic, yet eclectic.
I can wear it with everything.
Timeless.
This was my daily driver for like 2 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is that a 41?
That's a 41, yes.
A 40?
41.
41.
Yeah, I have that
SLC
in
watch
a
collector
blue
saying
face.
you need to add a Longa to the collection. That's beautiful. I don't know,
You're
man.
right.
You've been doing pretty well with your Patek picks. I don't know if I'd be going to Longa, to be honest with you. There's very few that I would stick to the classics, right? The Longa one, maybe the 1815 chronograph or the datograph.
Not the 6 for sure.
That's pretty much it. I got to be honest with this. That's pretty much it, you know. And maybe the 1815 up down, like the here. Let me pull it up.
The Zeitwerk I don't like, so definitely not that.
Royal de Versailles actually had one once upon a time, a couple years back.
Yeah,
And
well, they pulled their
it's
dealership.
huge. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's an Aventurine.
Morgan's got something. Oh, there it is.
That's
That's
okay.
beautiful.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
another.
nice.
That's the only other one I would get. All right, Morgan, you wanted to pull something up? Go ahead.
Well, it's an Aventurine. It's a cheapie. You know, it's one of those Kickstarter pieces of, you know, some people call it a shitter. But I fucking love this.
Who
thing.
makes that?
It's made in China.
Of course, it's by the lowest bidder.
H. Loger.
A Schloger. Yeah, it sounds German, but made in China by the lowest bidder. Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
It was like $5.99, but I tell you, I wear this and all I do is stare at it. It is crazy.
$5.99 is in $6 or $600.
$600.
Yeah, of course. I'm just bothering you. Don't worry, Morgan. I know.
Both my Kickstarter watches are not in my Chrono 24 collection because I don't want to,
Why?
Cover my
Embarrassing?
no, I don't give a shit.
Big
Nah,
Sal says, I
they're
have
the
the
watches
same
you love.
2100 along with the yellow version. Awesome beaters. The time is likely set correctly. You just have to change the time zone to a city. Let me.
Which
no,
watch?
it's totally off. It
Oh,
says
the-
it's 14
That's
right
actually
now.
what it is.
The
That's
Lange?
actually what it is. The first thing you need to do, Marco, is to actually go and set the time zone before you do anything else, and then
I
set
don't
your
even know
time.
how to do that, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Yeah, the manual will show you, and it's once you do it once, you'll know, but it is not that intuitive.
Well, once I do it once, I know how to do it again.
Yeah.
But yes.
Because there's two. Well, there's two modes. There is an alternate, GMT. There's an alternate time that you can set with it, and the master time, and you need to sort of follow the same technique for both, but with a slightly different button sequence at the start. It's not super intuitive, if I'm honest. But
Okay,
again,
gotcha.
you just got to read the manual. Unfortunately,
I'd say the date just because it has no crown guards.
Yeah, probably the Datejust.
yeah, my Rolex my Datejust is wonderful to wind.
The sub and the GMT aren't that bad, but compared to my PAM, the PAM is so easy. You just unwind the crown, no question. Plus, it's an onion crown, so big. Really nice feeling when you wind it. So easiest to wind, yeah, probably the Datejust. Yep. See, this is why we love Stefano. Stefano knows this shit like that. There you go.
No, man. Come on, Cardinal.
He's the wizard for a reason.
Can't even catch up with you on independence, buddy.
Frank,
What do you guys
says,
think about Louis Mounier? It's an independent.
Oh, that would be him.
No, that's totally Marco. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I got to be honest.
Frank Bonds.
I don't love it. It's
What don't
just
you love
it's a
about
very acquired taste. It's a very acquired. Here, I'll pull it up.
Let's bring it up.
just
Bring it
answer
up.
this
Let's
sec-
yeah.
Sure.
Do your super chat.
Yeah, let me just do this very quickly. We got Frank Bonds with the $5 saying, "Do you think a Mark 1 olive dial Rolex dated white gold will be more collectible / valuable down the road as a true 60th anniversary versus a Mark 2 dial?" You know what I got to tell you, man? I don't have a crystal ball,
Yeah.
and can't predict the future. What would I do? I would just get the one you prefer.
Yes.
Very simple, man. Don't go into this with invest. See, this
Yeah.
is the problem, Mike, and I mean this with all due respect to Frank, right? You shouldn't be buying watches with the intention of, oh, is it going to go up in value? Or that's just added bonus, right? And listen, don't get me wrong. I understand that the component of investments and watches, they're inextricably linked nowadays. You know what I mean? You can't talk about watches not as investments. It's just too mainstream an idea. But man, if that's what you're chasing that watch for, it's for all the wrong reasons, because it's not a cheap amount of money. You know what I mean? You're getting a white gold date at the end of the day. So,
but I would definitely recommend you're on the right path to get the white gold with the olive, because the rose gold with olive, I think, looks sick. It just doesn't go. Olive and rose, in my opinion.
oh boy. But Frank, I would say go for the white gold Mark I dial, or either or. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either. You just you can't go wrong with either. But thank you very much for the super chat. Andy KFX saying, Marco, you guys all seem to agree on how nice the Lange one is for us mere mortals who can afford that. What's your thoughts on the Glashütte Original Panel Reserve? Quite similar to the Lange. Yeah, listen, it's a great watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly a happy medium. Do I like it? Would I buy it for myself? Definitely not.
The Pano Lunar to me is a little.
Yeah, the Panamatic Lunar is probably the one to get.
And if you want to spend even less money, you go to Mule Glashütte, which is the lowest line.
I would go to Nomos probably Nomos.
Or Nomos is even lower.
Right.
Glashütte, but that's not bad. I mean, it's the reverse. They put the big date on the bottom rather than the top, and it's not bad. I mean, I don't know, what are they like?
The problem
12,
is this doesn't follow the principle of the Lange one, right? So if you look at this design, right, it's very different from the Lange one, and let me explain it to you. So if I go to the Lange one, I pull this up. Now you see the subseconds, the middle point of the subseconds, the middle point of the hour and minute hand, and the middle point of the date window actually form a perfect triangle.
Yeah, it's triangulation design. Right. Yeah.
So it's a let me see if I can find an edit. There you go.
Oh, there it is. No, the other one's even better. Oh, yeah.
There you go. So it's a perfect triangle. So the balance is perfect. That's the difference between that and the Glashütte. And that's why the Lange one to me is just a better design-wise. It's just, just better. That's it. Hold on, guys.
But if somebody loves the look with less because they don't want to spend as much, it's okay. The Glashütte is nice.
Yeah. There's a beautiful movement. I tried one on, and I looked at it and said, I like it better in pictures. It was one of those watches I like better in pictures. I think it's the moon phase, because I like the blue face, and the moon phase kind of blends in. It's not like the lighter colored faces where the moon phase really sticks out. So it was kind of like, it's all right, but it wasn't enough to.
Didn't speak enough to you.
No.
If it doesn't speak to you, it doesn't speak to you, right?
Now you're talking about the Glashütte, not the Lange, right?
I'm talking about the Glashütte, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful movement. I love I think it's got a 3/4 rotor on the back. It's beautiful. It has all the carving, the etching, the hand.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously they're trying to be a Lange. They're competing.
They're right around actually they're 3.5 blocks away from each other, but in Glashütte, but it's okay.
Right.
They probably go next door. Can I borrow a screwdriver?
Yeah.
We got Ali Reza joining us, saying hello to the esteemed panel.
Ali.
Hello, Ali.
Salam, Ali Jan.
I hope you are well. Thank you very much for joining. And we got Stefano, the wizard for a reason, no question about it. Todd Levin saying, I remember when people weren't into watches for the wrong reasons. Yeah. Well, not to put words in his mouth, but Yeah, listen, it's just that's what watches should be about. It should be just about collecting
That's
for
right.
passion. We got Jason Martin with the $5 says, buy what you like and try it on
Before you
you
buy it.
No question.
True.
Yeah, no question.
You
And
still
we got, here we go. SLC brings up a good point. It says, I think the pano for like $7K for someone who's looking to start their collection is really nice. No question about it. But the problem is it doesn't have, listen, if you're going to ask me, right, I'm going to critique it, right? From a design perspective, I prefer a longer one. There's just no question about it. It's just what I prefer. But I think it is a great start. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on
And
the
you
head.
can get a very good deal on the gray market on those. They're like 67, 66, somewhere in there, which is like 30% off of retail.
I'm sorry, guys.
You okay?
Yeah, sure.
What was that watch you were showing? Not the drugs. I have my own. Don't worry. Show me the watch you were showing.
It's the watches you guys hate so much. Whoops, wrong way. This is a Louis Moinet. It's absolutely my favorite watch.
Oh, it's okay. You like it?
Is that a $600 made in China one too, or
No.
No, I know.
It's just
But
I
a
can't
collector
explain
like
it.
you, why would you buy a $600 watch when you have some gorgeous pieces like that?
Because it's not all about money.
Well, it usually is. It's not always, but usually
You know,
is.
if I like it, I like it, right?
All right, that's cool.
I bought a Tourbillon. It was a Chinese Tourbillon.
Oh,
German
Aventi.
manufactured.
Aventi.
No, it was German manufactured. It was some name that sounds like it belongs on fine china.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what it was called. And it's a nice watch, but it's, it's just a little Chinese movement, but it was $1,000. I got my Tourbillon on for cheap because I'm a
There you
cheap
go.
bastard.
There you go. Hey, whatever floats your boat.
I agree with the Louis Moinet. It's a hit and miss. Most of their stuff are like 3 or 4. They're made for like Russian oligarchs, and they're 500,000, 2 million. But there's a couple of real nice designs they have, and the Tempograph is one of them.
Hold on very
Especially
quickly,
the blue
guys. We
face.
got Gordon Hayes with the
Chats.
$5 saying, today I got offered a Daytona 116 589 SALV by my AD, and I don't know what to think of it. He gave me 24 hours to think about it.
That one?
Gordon, I'd say get it, sell it to
Get it and
Stefano.
flip it.
Right, sell it to Stefano, and Stefano can give you a good price, and he will ship that out to Roman in a
Roman.
heartbeat.
Roman will take it like this.
He will take that in a heartbeat.
for
let me
sure.
tell you. Yeah. Listen, if you don't like it, just pass on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just say no. It's not for you.
Yeah, if it's
But
not
that
for
builds
you-
a lot of credibility and relationship with your dealer if you're going to spend that kind of money. That's for
Right.
sure.
right.
How
That
much
definitely,
They're not cheap.
yeah.
About 120.
And they're going to want you to keep this, no question about it. So if you're
They won't know. Rolex will never know.
Yeah, but still, if your intentions are to buy it, you know what I mean? Even they'll never know. They'll want pictures at least, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They'd want to see that you're wearing the watch, or at least, that you still have it. So listen, if you're not, I would just be honest and upfront and say, listen, this is not, it's a ruby bezel meteorite dial Daytona. It's just
Yeah.
not for anyone. You know what
No.
I mean? Takes
It's
a certain type of
a
person.
very small niche market for this.
Exactly. It takes a certain type of person to really appreciate this type of
Definitely.
thing. So, no question about it. And we got the main man himself, Nico, joining the stream. I hope you're
Nico.
well. Nico,
God tier,
good.
brother. God tier.
Yeah, speaking of God tier, Nico, I got the watch just for you. There we go, guys. There it is. The time is totally nuts. I just unboxed it today. And I also got the cloth. I got the cloth today. So double unboxing.
Pride and Pinion. Pride and Pinion. The
That's
best
right.
cloths
Pride
on the
and
market.
And we got Ali Reza going absolutely nuts, saying with $133.33 super chat, saying the corn de Vacheron. That's not actually a thing, guys. There's no fun. There is no fun. There's no fun, guys. No,
There is
there's
now.
nothing to donate.
There is
There is
now.
now.
Oh, you guys are nuts. Thank you very much, Ollie. That's extremely generous. And man, I don't know if I deserve it, but
You more than deserve it, my friend. More than
I
deserve it.
appreciate it. I really do appreciate that.
Not doing any product
Pride
placement or anything like that.
opinion.
I'm just
Look at
casually
that.
cleaning my watch
Yes,
with my
yes,
Pride
you
and
are.
Pinion cloth. Available
Ollie,
at prideandpinion.com.
give us an honest take, honest review. What do you think about it?
Ari, what do you think?
The cloth you're talking about. It's does a great job. It does really a great job. It leaves the watch really pristine. You can tell by holding the material, like it's a good quality material. There's two parts to it. There's one that you use to do an initial cleaning with it, and then there's a polishing cloth as well. And so I find it does a really great job. And look, I'll be honest, it was a little expensive shipping it here on its own, but it's I'm really happy with it, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm happy to support Nico. And Nico looks like Nico got COVID.
What?
From the chat. I'm sorry to hear that, Nico.
Oh shit! I'm really sorry to hear that,
buddy. I'm
I hope
really
you get
sorry,
better.
man.
Oh, seriously?
Really sorry about that, buddy.
Oh no.
Sorry, guys. I'm just responding to somebody who keeps
okay.
messaging me.
It's okay. So, Nico, hope you keep well. And
Gordon says, "I hate
forward
it
to
so
talking to you
much,
soon."
but I'm hoping for platinum." So then hold out. Say, listen. Just be honest with them. I think you just got to be honest. Let's say, listen, I don't like the watch. It's not my personal taste. To my personal taste, I don't think it's a bad watch, but it's just not for me. I would really like the platinum Daytona. That's what I would want.
They'll respect you. They'll respect your honesty.
Canadian.
I thought it'd be more. About what, 70,000 US?
Yeah. About 70,
80,
maybe
80.
80. It's the dollar is better. The dollar is Canadian dollar is a little stronger.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
in the
it's
US here. Anybody
sorry?
in the US here? Are you in the US?
No, I'm just outside of Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're probably the only one. Yeah, you're the only American here.
Okay.
Nico's coming on. I will pass him the link.
Yeah, sure. Let me drop the link. I'm sorry, guys. I'm distracted. I got to stop being distracted.
I just dropped him the link.
Did you guys already cover the Louis Monet watch?
Discussion?
No? Okay, I'll wait. Because I actually have two pieces of that I love from Louis Monet.
Oh, really?
So I'm with
that's
you.
what I'm
That'd be
saying is that I have the Tempograph Chrome. I like the Chrome because it's actually stainless steel. And although I probably would have liked the titanium.
Yeah.
They made 60 pieces of this. It's the case. I mean, it's like the case is almost like a movement. I mean, it has jewel. It just has so many parts to the case. It's amazing. And they make some pretty far out stuff, but that was I could not get it out of my head. I saw it online, and all I could think about for 2 weeks was that watch and how I'm going to get that watch. And I've never really was jonesing for anything as badly as this watch. And when I got it, I was happy. I wish it were a little thinner, but other than that, what two watches do you have?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have the Speedmaster Professional, the 1886 Lavagna movement with the Hesselite. And I'm actually wearing a Tudor Black Bay Heritage that I actually have on loan for a watch review that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So
nice.
And you know what? You guys were right about Tudor. I'm starting to become a really big fan. This watch has been great all day. Didn't think that I would really enjoy it as much as I do. But
I think the Tudors are solid watches. They really are solid.
Hey,
Nico.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, Nico.
How are you, Nico?
So COVID got me today.
I am sorry, dude.
Shit, bro.
Do you have any vaccines in you?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Are you at home now? You were traveling before, right? Are you back home at least?
Yeah, I'm back home now.
Okay.
Luckily.
Yeah,
I
luckily
am
is right.
literally, and today, I didn't feel great for a couple of days, but today was just scary. Like
Shit,
this
I'm
is
sure.
this is no fucking joke. Like,
No.
Yeah.
this is mad. But it gives me some time at home at least.
Yeah.
No,
Sure.
so that's it. But I saw the thingy coming on. Funny enough, I was talking to Stefano earlier about it. Stefano,
Hey, brother.
how are you?
Good yourself.
Yeah, I'm all right. Rough, to say the least.
Yeah, I know. Just relax. Get your rest.
Aye.
Lots of fluids.
But we'll get there.
Yeah. Just
Do they
rest
have
up
any-
and look after yourself. That's all that matters, you know.
Do the doctors there have the treatments like there's a particular drug that they can give you right away that should help you quite a bit? I don't wish I knew the name of the drug, but it was they have approved it in the United States to be taken once you get it to help you not get super sick.
Right.
So have the doctors offered you anything?
No, I got the tests. I isolated myself, and I've basically been in bed, and then the symptoms became worse and worse and worse.
Shit.
And till like a friend of mine had it as well, and he told me like this is just the beginning. It'll only get worse, and I'm like, if that is gonna happen, I don't know if I can do this alone. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So,
sure.
You need to start pumping in your body zinc,
Magnesium.
D3, magnesium, and there's a new drug that's called ivermectin.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
That is the champion.
Yeah.
And quercetin also, if you can get it. Quercetin is very good.
Well, if he can, he's in Ireland, so there's a lot of what do they call naturopaths? If he gets wheatgrass, the liquid, in those little shots, he takes out of the freezer, puts in the fridge in the morning, shoots it. It builds up his immune system. Wheatgrass.
I think wheatgrass is high in zinc, isn't it?
Yes, it is, very much so.
Just want to pull these up 1 second very quickly. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We got Jason Martin with the $5 saying, I love my Tudor Black Bay GMT and my Black Bay 41mm with a silver dial.
Yes.
That's
Congrats.
It's a great watch.
I'll show you,
watches, you know what I mean?
show you guys this one.
There it is. Is
Is
that
it the navy or black?
Super nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
the Tudor Rose. It's the 41, right?
Yeah, it's the
Calcifediol.
It's a 2014 reference. It's got a blue band on it. It's fantastic.
That's the navy blue dial, right?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, gorgeous.
I just got a message from Quick Draw, Calcifediol.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Jason. And of course, listen, enjoyed. We got Patek Cigars and Scotch saying, Nico, go to bed. That's right, Nico. Man, you should not be on the stream. Get some rest, for real. It's probably the best thing for you. And then we got Ali Reza sending you some love, saying speediest of recoveries.
Thank you guys so much. That's very, very kind. Really, really appreciate
Hey,
it.
Nico.
Mike's saying, Nico, we need get better. We need you back. Marco's talking about getting a Hublot.
Actually, when you weren't on the stream, we were Googling Hublots and stuff. And
Oh, no. I
wasn't.
wasn't here. I was at dinner, so I
I
didn't
saw Marco
partake.
licking his lips at a couple of them.
Yeah, I was licking my lips. We got Rez with the $5 saying, Marco sent an email for a conversation for your panel. So these are the code 1159s. Rose gold with the black dial. We got white gold with the blue dial.
There's also the burgundy.
That's interesting with the smooth black dial.
Then
Adrian got that today.
That one's really nice.
That's actually really is nice.
Guys, I got to be totally honest with you.
Not for you.
No,
Like, look at these dials, right? It's just, it looks like, I'm going to be honest, right? There's like a lack of real thought put behind these, you know? There's just the day window placement. It is what it is, right? But the overall, like, it just looks cheap. That's what I'm saying. The case is gorgeous, you know what I mean? But the dial makes the watch look cheap.
But Mark, I thought you never liked the date on the 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
The Zenith El Primero has the same thing. You know what I mean? Listen, I know
Right,
these are probably nicer in person. You know what I mean? The pictures really don't do them justice. So be it. But it just looks like a department store type of chronograph. You know what I mean? In terms of the dial configuration and layout. Like it just.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think it gives people a better option than the millenary, right? The millenary is a little bit of an odd watch to get from AP. You know, not everybody can get the offshore, but this, I don't know. I love this one.
It gives you the ability to get into an AP, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I mean, we all love
with
those.
a waffle dial.
I'm sorry?
I think it would look better with a waffle dial.
I've actually seen the one that has the that mineral that we were talking about. It was a two-tone with rose gold. It was incredible the way that it looks, and under the sun, under the light, it's just a show.
It's amazing. Look at my
The problem-
$5.99. I'm like, oh.
So the problem with super busy dials is, you know, you can't appreciate the waffle dial at all, just because there's just so much stuff on it. You get barely any waffle in the waffle dial. So something to keep in mind.
Look at this. Grand Sicko says $2.27 from Grand Sicko. Thanks. Oh, that's good. But you don't leave me a message, Grand Sicko. You gotta. If you have a question, I'll pull it up. You know what I mean? I'll pull it up.
Can I unbox something?
Yes.
Of course.
As long as it's not a vibrator.
Dude, I don't know where you're headed.
How about my
tonight.
blow
I
up
don't know
doll?
where
Can
you're
I
headed.
give you a blow up doll?
That I would appreciate.
I'm out.
I just received
Yeah,
a
Ali,
few
I
of them
agree.
today, and my staff, my guy Mark,
The drugs
that's
are
why
kicking
I
in.
love that kid and I take care of him extra special
Nice.
because I told him that one of my boys needs this, so he went and picked it up from the shop. He just dropped it off. It's for the young man right there,
You,
Nice.
sir, are a gentleman and a scholar.
sealed.
Oh,
You can de-virginize her when you get her.
I will. Don't you worry. Perfect. Just I will shoot you the payment right now.
Did I say anything about payment, man? Why do you fucking kids worry about money like that? It's like
You spend money. You spent money.
yeah, I know. Yeah, but I have an account with her, so I just got 4 of them. And by the way, even on the sale price, the stainless I got it for $315, the GMT for $315, the Daytona self-winding for $250, and the Rolex Mania for €220. If you have an account, you can ship me a label. If not, I have a FedEx, UPS, DHL. So I think the cheapest ways. Well, I know what. I'll send my other boy over the pond to ship it from Messina, because if I ship it from here, you're gonna pay duties, tax, all that shit. So don't worry, I'll take care of it. Just send me all your info where it gets shipped to.
Absolutely.
Let me pull this up from all the rest. I do feel like the response from AP to the code 1159 was the Black Panther, which was more of a mistake in my opinion. So here's the thing, right? And this is what I also didn't like when they released the 1159. They were kind of sanctimonious, like, oh, well, listen, just because you don't like the design, you know, you have to respect the watch. It's still made with the finest. Well,
No.
we don't
not
have to
true.
respect shit. If you don't have to tell us what we have to do, I'm sorry to say, you know what I mean? Like, who are you? Like, who died and made you the prognosticator of all things good? You know what I mean? Like,
it's a shutting down of criticism tactic. Is what
right.
that
It's
is,
like,
yeah.
it was ridiculous. That's why I'm like, come on, man. Like, what is that? The only one, I'm going to be honest, that I like, it's the one that Ali
there you
Reza
go.
wanted me to pull up.
There it is.
Is
That's
this one
the
right
one.
here. The
That's the
Aventurine.
one.
They also have a skeleton tourbillon, which I'll
Yeah.
pull up.
This
but
is
the
interesting.
nicest one.
This
No
is
question.
very interesting. Yeah.
Right. This is the nice.
This thing, you know, you get lost in the way that it just hits off the light.
Now, these are going to be extremely collectible, right? Because I think they're definitely investing in, the 1159 range. So you're getting the first ever.
I don't like that
Perpetual calendar. No, I think it's nice. It's not great, but for a skeleton tourbillon, this is what you get.
Yeah, no, that you're right. Actually,
the only thing about when they're this skeletonized, what you're seeing underneath is your ugly arm, unless you have a beautiful arm, and your hair
unless you're Drew,
things like that. So I like skeletons, but I like them to be less see-through. Does that make any sense? Where you can see less skin.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of skeleton watches just because I find them impractical on a bunch of levels, but that's just me. That's totally just me. Yeah.
I like skin, but I like to envision what's behind the panty and the bra and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm an old timer. Not like these young bucks. Yes. Let us all upvote. Upvote, please. Upvote.
Yeah, please, guys. We gotta get some likes in the stream. We had somebody send over a wagon full of haters, but hey, it is what it is.
It's okay.
He said,
trolls gotta troll. Haters gotta hate.
Right, exactly. Rez with the $5 saying, I can't get enough of them. I think once you see it in person, one of the most underrated pieces. Hey, man, whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? I can't tell another man what to like or what to dislike. I can only like what I like.
He has a Ferrari, he has a Lambo, and he has a Cobra.
Is that a Mustang?
That's a Cobra.
Oof. Stefano, how do you know these things?
Come on, brother. I'm an old timer.
Rez, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. And listen, man, it's not to take anything away from the Code 1159. I think they're a beautifully finished watch. They put a lot of time into designing, finishing the movement. I just think, and the case is gorgeous. It's really nice. But I think the dial is just, if I don't like a dial, right, there's just no point in buying it. Yeah. We got Toyota Mo with a $2 saying, Stefano, can I buy the Rolex Mania from you?
Yes, of course. Send me your information, Mo, and I'll mail it to you. When you get it, you pay me.
Right. There you go. Doing deals live on air. We got Ali, the Watch Sasquatch, joining us live. How are you, my man?
Hello.
Salam, Alijan.
I can see everybody's name before I couldn't see it.
By the way, should we do a quick wristwatch check? I don't think we did a wristwatch check around the panel.
God tier, man.
Nice. This new webcam's amazing. The focus is awesome.
AC Morgan's fighting with me. That was the one I was gonna buy just like a month ago for me, not for me to sell, for me. But I couldn't get the dealer to come down enough. The other way. Yeah, that's gorgeous, man.
It is.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's kind of Art Deco.
You bought it.
The band is the best thing. I bought it
boutique, or you bought it gray market?
I bought it used from Gray and Sons. Good.
Great. Oh, it's okay. They're all right. They're not the worst. They're not the best, but bots got a bot.
I remember what I paid. 72, 67.
You got a great price.
But now I see they're like 9.
Anything under 8.5, 9, you did great.
Retail.
Yeah.
We got very quickly, guys, because we got super chats pouring in fast and furious. We got Wings and Watches with the $10. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. He said, I'm assuming it's for the anchor fund.
Yeah, sorry.
The anchor fund.
Yeah.
Yes, the anchor piece, guys. It's the anchor piece.
The anchor piece, baby.
The Vacheron History Corn de Vache, guys.
I think you just earned enough to pay for one side of the stitching. On the strap, Marco. One stitching side only.
Thank you very much.
Yo,
I'm sorry. There's somebody who keeps blowing up my phone. It's annoying. I need to put my phone on.
Tell him to, lottie dottie, fight everybody.
Wings and Watches, thank you very much for the $10. We got Rez with the $100 super.
Wow.
Marco, there you go. Keep it up. Great panel.
Now you covered both sides of the stitching.
Thank you.
Now he's got both stitching sides.
Right. All right. Sides of the stitching. We're getting up to the leather strap. We're working.
No, up to the padding of the leather strap. Wait.
The padding. The padding. Forgive me.
By the way, my prayers go out to Nico. I hope you quick recovery, man. We love you.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, it's a shame to see him out of commission like that.
It is.
He definitely sounds
definitely not Nico.
So
He'll bounce back.
He will.
Yeah. He's a resilient fighter. You know what I mean? He'll be good.
Oh yeah.
I have no doubt about that. But Rez, thank you very much for the $100 super chat. I will definitely put it to good use when I go to London, because I am going, hopefully, fingers crossed, Probably not. Well, we'll see.
Let's see. You never know, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm still holding out hope, but it's not looking good, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not looking good. But I'm hoping. I'm still keeping the ticket strong.
Private chat, Cardinal. I went to get it to make sure I didn't screw up on you, and that's what the dial's made out of. Solid silver and faced with copper, blue, gold flux.
Interesting. I did not know that. I didn't know that, actually. I thought it was the Aventurine stone. But
You thought it was the actual stone. Yes,
Yeah,
was
I guess it just
slided, like black onyx, tiger eye, or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Because they'll use stones in watches. Not
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you remember Tissot, the rock watch?
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is a
Made
good
out
one.
of solid
I
granite
totally
made in
forgot about that
Pakistan.
one. Thank you again to Rez for the $100. That's extremely kind and generous. We got Gordon Weston with the $5 saying, if I'm buying the Daytona, I need suggestions for a Rolex for my wife. 30 to 35,000 budget. Otherwise, I'm dead.
Uh-oh. He's
Matching
dead.
Daytonas.
Yeah.
What?
There you go.
Actually,
Matching
yeah,
Daytonas.
Yeah,
That's
right.
very
You
good.
can't even get one. How the hell are you going to get two?
Yeah.
Unless you're going used.
Pre-Zenith or post-Zenith Daytona, right?
Yeah,
Would you get the two-tone white dial that Jay just bought? That's more of a men's watch, right?
it is.
At least-
I love the combination he has, the reverse panda.
Well, Gordon, if Gordon's getting offered, right, that Daytona, what's it called, from retail, he's got a good relationship. Let's not beat around the bush here. You know what I mean? Gordon's got a good relationship. So I would go for the all rose gold. What's the retail on that? Rose gold Daytona.
I'm grabbing
Oh,
a drink.
It won't
I'll
be
right
enough
back.
to buy one of them. Rose gold won't be enough to buy one.
Are you sure? This one
Yeah.
right here. This is popular with the ladies, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe the chocolate dial more.
Yeah.
We got Todd Levin asking to join the stream. Of course, please do. Please do.
Yeah, that'll be U.S. If it's U.S. money, Canadian? No way. Not even close. It's like 50 G's, man.
Yeah,
It's
Canadian,
50 Gs?
Canadian, you're gonna get killed.
It's
Yeah.
40 something plus hard tax.
Okay,
And
then
for
I guess
you, it's even
two-tone-
worse.
Two-tone black dial or two-tone? Yeah, probably two-tone black is the only way to go, right? 30 to 35,000. There's no other Daytonas.
No.
And maybe steel, like the steel bezel.
And forget about going for the beach Daytona, the pink, yellow, green, or blue. They're like freaking 30 grand, and they used to be like 9.5, 10 because they're white gold.
Wow.
That's back in the day.
Guys, I just want to remind everybody, please, to upvote. But Gordon, I hope that answers the question. I mean, 30 to 35,000 for a Daytona is kind of a weird spot. You know what I mean? You're not in full precious metal. It's a little too cheap for some steel models, and it's a little too cheap for a two-tone model. So I would go two-tone black Daytona or the just the all steel, the pre-ceramic, so the steel bezel, black dial Daytona with the modern case and the modern bracelet and clasp, like the one that plastic has. So Gordon saying, I can spend more. Can Stefano find me one?
Find you which one, Gordon?
Yeah, which one? Please specify which
Yes.
one. I'm sure you could find it for you.
And he needs two, he said, right?
The two?
Oh, no, he said he wants two watches?
Yeah, let us know which Daytonas you want.
By the way, today our boy Quicker Draw got his new Tacoma. He picked it up today.
The
Oh,
Can't
two-
wait to see him later on.
Very nice. Okay, yeah, that's going to be great to see. 100%. But guys, please, John Windsor reminding everybody, upvote, upvote, upvote. Guys, we got 116 people watching. We only have 75 likes. Please be sure to like the stream. And we got Todd joining us. Hello, Todd. We got 116 people watching. We only have 70. Todd, I gotta mute you. You gotta mute the stream in the background or close the tab. Just give me a thumbs up when you're done. There we go. We should be good. Todd, how are you?
Hey guys, good evening. Sorry, I was in and out. Hey, is that
Nice to see
somebody?
you.
Is that Belvany?
That's my favorite.
What do you got there? What do you got there?
This is the 14.
I got one to
Caribbean
show you. Keep on talking,
And
but
I
I
got
got
the
one.
20. And I'm not in the bar. I got the 21.
Oh, you got the 21
What a
too.
background. What do you think
Morgan,
about that one,
you and I
Stefano?
gotta chill. I gotta bring you some Japanese whiskey. We gotta talk your whiskey.
Mm.
Mr. Levin, here it comes.
This is called the Day of Dark.
Wow.
You know this?
Oh my God. You
The dark barley.
Wow.
You know this one?
Amazing.
No, this is the highest I go on it.
Yeah,
this is
a really
25,
interesting-
26.
This was a made only for 1 year, and it's because they found that they had some extra barley left over. So rather than using wheat, it's completely made on a barley, base. So it's very, very different from what you'd expect.
Is it
Quite amazing.
spicier? Is it
How's
spicier?
How's the finish on your tongue? How's the finish?
God, I hate it's so personal or
Of course.
but kind of like it's bourbony in its finish.
Okay.
So it's slightly sweeter. It's a very dark toffee.
Is it
kind of-
spicy? Is it spicy like a rye?
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
It's
All right.
much softer.
Okay.
Much softer.
All right.
So just I saw somebody flashing a bottle. So this is a good one.
favorite. I've got the 12, the 14, and the 21. And there's
Drinking good
something
health.
else.
Drinking good
I
health.
might have an 18. I think there's an 18. I'm not sure,
There is.
but it's my favorite because I don't like smoky whiskey. It's
Yeah.
just not my thing.
Me neither. Not my thing.
But when you get that finish, that sweet spot draw,
Oh,
cheers.
it's
Cheers.
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 L'chaim. Cheers.
I'm a dyslexic person, so this is real ale.
Todd, how are you doing? Thank you again for joining the stream. It's always a pleasure.
An honor.
Oh, please stop it already with the
We're
honor.
getting. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Before we get to this, and thank you very much, Russ. I will get to this. I promise you. We did get an answer from Gordon saying the rose gold black dial.
Mm.
You can
Okay.
100% get. I'll ask
Yeah.
Nico, Gordon, if you want. I can ask Nico.
Yeah, sure.
You can 100% get for him or Stefano.
Yeah.
If he's local to Canada, I mean, it's up to you. You pick whoever you
Is he
want.
Canadian or American?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
But let us know.
He's
And we got
Canadian.
Red
That's a
with
no-brainer.
$100 super chat. Thank you so much. Saying good call on the cars.
Thanks, Rez.
How do you? I don't get it.
Because
I'm not a big car guy. You know this.
I'm not a Lambo guy, but I know what they look like. I'm a Ferrari guy, but I'm also a Cobra guy. I remember the old days when I grew up, I used to have a 69 GTO Judge, and I wish I would have bought a Cobra for 30,000 more then, but whatever. They come and go. That's
That's
life.
the Huracan, isn't it, in the center? I thought
Yes.
it was a Corvette.
Wide
That's
body.
a Huracan. Yeah.
Gordon Weston's outside of Toronto.
Oh, no problem.
Well, there you go.
Come on my Instagram, and I'll see what I can do for you, my friend.
There you go. Doing deals on the stream. There we go. We got Rez. Thank you again. If you have a question, let me know. I would love to answer your question. Now, Todd, I got to ask, what is on the wrist today? What is on the wrist?
Dude.
I'm in Jersey. I'm wearing the same thing I was before when we spoke.
Okay.
So
The same one?
same thing.
Come on, man. You can't flash that on the stream. Please don't do that again.
What?
It's
don't
barley.
flash.
We're
Oh,
talking
okay.
about,
It's barley. Okay, I thought it was
talking
something
about
else.
whiskey.
I thought it
It's
was barley.
barley.
I was like, come on, man. What are you doing?
Come on.
No.
Never do that.
There's the back. There's the business end.
Hold on 1 second. Let me pull that up on the thing.
Oh, wow.
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 Holy
Oh.
shit.
Now that's impressive.
That's
You know
beautiful.
what's interesting about the British style of watchmaking,
cow.
right? Is they have that thick plate,
Wow.
very almost reminiscent of the Germans, but not quite, right?
There we go.
And it's so that the
Wow.
watch is protected, so they make for great daily wearers. You know, there's no real risk of,
So, yeah.
it can
It's-
take a beating,
Who
essentially.
made
That
that?
looks
Sorry, who
incredible.
made that?
Yeah. The main plate is it's unusually thick. I think most people, but George was talked all the time. Roger does too. Talked about all the time about the what's their term? They have a specific term. The rigidity of the watch, and that in their mind, I think the rigidity relates to its hardiness. In terms of day-to-day wear. So the main plates in these things are thicker than I think you'd encounter. But I think that's also a British thing. Somebody might be able to correct me on that, but I think that's also a distinctly British design.
It is. Yes, sir.
Where you wouldn't see that in the Swiss because they simply have a different language about those sorts of things.
Marco Super Chat.
thank you again for the $100. And then he comes in with another $50. Rez is just on fire. I don't even know what is going on. But he's saying, check your email. He just wanted to show off a few in his.
Oh, boy.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
That's it?
That's
all you got?
That's it, he says.
This is plebeian stuff, plebeians. The plebs have this. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Aficionado. That's
All right, so
beautiful.
this is beautiful. This
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It looks like one of those red bar meetings where people take off all their watches and throw them on the table, except it's like doing something with cars now.
Yeah,
Cars and Chrono would love this.
Yeah.
I'll take all the Porsches. I like Porsche.
These are
I can't fit in them.
No?
No, fuck no.
Oh,
How tall are you? I'm 6'2", and I'm 6'2",
It's
and there's a
not the
lot of
height.
nice cars I can't fit in.
Really? Is that like a
Yeah.
thing? Seriously? Like a smaller at 6'2", even?
At 6'2", I on certain cars I'll brush my head
Uh-huh.
on the roof, which drives me nuts. And so
Yeah,
that tells
yeah,
me
I
it's
don't- Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Certain cars I can't sit in. Yeah.
Huh.
I hate
Well,
it.
unless you're an NBA player and then they take the rails out and they weld the rails all the way in the back. So you're 6'7", 6'8", but you can just reach.
Yeah, but those are modified, right? Those are.
Yeah, of course, they all are.
They're made for those.
Oh, yes.
Guys. But yeah, I mean, listen, everybody knows, or anybody who's watched the stream for an extended period of time knows that I'm just not a car guy. I'm more into the watches. But man,
Yeah.
this is from
These are
what I'm
beautiful.
seeing is a pretty impressive collection.
Yeah, oh, very much so.
incredible.
And you live in Montreal and you're a young university student. You take the metro, the bus, or Uber.
Exactly.
That's it.
Listen,
you don't need
Stefano can vouch for me. The roads in Montreal.
It's like driving through a minefield in Serbia back then.
It's the worst roads pound for pound in the first. Sorry, I shouldn't use that expression, but in the developed world, right?
Yes.
It's probably the worst roads pound for pound.
Montreal? You're talking
The
Montreal?
Western world. Oh yeah, it's awful.
Oh,
But Rez,
it's
thank
the
you
worst.
very much for the $50.
Montreal?
Extremely
Yeah.
generous.
Very bad.
Terrible roads,
Well,
terrible
on the
roads.
other hand, they have Joe Beef, they have Foxy, they have
Amen.
the Cachon.
Amen. You're
So,
absolutely right.
I can deal
Yeah.
with the roads when they have those restaurants.
Yeah.
Wait, you've
They
been
also
to
have the best
Montreal?
bagels
before?
in the world as
Of
well.
course.
Yeah, but-
Wait.
I will say
Did Todd
something
just
else.
say he's
Texas
got
has
Montreal's the
share
best
of
bagels?
this.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
Saint Viator or Fairmont?
San Diego, for sure. No doubt
The
about it.
next time you're in Brooklyn, let me know. I'll send you to the right place.
Oh, will you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
I think
Well, at
you've,
least you can try
I
it.
love it.
I think
love
you've
it.
annoyed
Because
half
I
this
grew up in
audience.
New York, Brooklyn, and Manhattan, and I know who has the best bagels, in my opinion.
Okay.
But Saint Viator, Fairmont, they're great bagels, but I don't think they're like New York bagels. But
Oh, they're
I
not.
don't know.
It's
Yeah.
no, they're definitely not. They have more sugar.
Yes.
The water's completely different.
No.
It's a totally like if you want a New York bagel experience, you're not going to get that in Montreal.
No.
But just
No.
empirically, I've always been a New York bagel guy my whole life because in the United States, those are the de facto standard. But
Yes.
once I had a Montreal bagel, it was sort of like, I was going to
Different.
say I saw Jesus, but that would really be that would be the wrong comparison.
Yeah. Montreal bagel with a good schmear, it's the best.
It's the best,
I
I
agree.
think.
I agree.
But I mean,
I want to get to this Montreal. Todd, I need to know, you've been to Montreal many times or a couple
yeah,
times?
I've done business with the Musée de Camperon de Beaux Arts and the other institution there as well. So yeah, I know Montreal pretty. I know the restaurants. Let's put it that way. I don't know Montreal.
Gotcha. Okay, well, listen, next time you're in Montreal, listen, you know what I mean? I don't know if you have my Instagram or if I follow you on Instagram. Let me know and we can go out, I don't know, for a beer. Or
Oh, are you in Montreal?
I live in Montreal, yeah.
Forgive me. I was unaware, because I'm new. So what do I know?
That's
I
why.
had no idea.
That's why when you just said Saint Viator bagels are better than New York bagels, I
Oh,
pounded
my
fist.
goodness.
What's his name? Stefano
all right.
said yesterday that New York bagels are bad, but just
I
very
think
quickly, I want
the
to get through
downvotes
these.
are going to kick in, Marco. This might be
Sorry.
might be a lost stream. Just letting you know.
We got Grant Sicko with the $1.84
they're
super chat.
dropping.
Thank you very much. If you have a question, let me know. Like, I need a question. I feel like I'm not doing you any service. You know what I mean? I'm not doing you any service. So please let me know. We got Alex Permijo with the $5 saying, Cardinal, you call a lot of watches trash, which, to be fair, there's a lot of garbage out there. I'm just being honest, right? I'm giving you my honest feedback. There's a lot of trash out there. Saying, why so cocky after Nico and the watch community got you that Batman? Love you, but I feel out of place now. No, listen, I'm welcoming to everybody at all levels of collecting. Why? Because no matter what, we're all in the wristwatch hobby, and it's all about growing and expanding our collection. So whether you own entry-level pieces or you own, the level of pieces that someone like Todd or Cars and Chrono or the Watch Guy or, many of the collectors who jump on the stream on our show have, I respect everybody as long as your passion is put in the right place, right? There's no question about it. We are a welcoming bunch. But listen, I'm not going to call a watch that is, frankly speaking, a cheap ripoff of a design that was done by another brand and that has, a Chinese movement and that's poorly made a good watch. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to give you honest feedback. You know what I mean? If it's not a good watch, it's not a good watch. And that's all it is. Listen, if I offended you in any way, I apologize. But I mean, it's just, I have to be honest, I got to be honest.
And look, sometimes the word, I think, if I could maybe, jump on that, sometimes the word shitter gets thrown around a bit, and it doesn't mean that, you're a piece of shit for having this watch, or this is terrible, it's awful. How could you ever get this?
But it's also used as a gag word too.
It's a gag word. That's exactly, it's a joking word.
It's a joking word.
It's a term, you know what? And as well, if you're just getting into watches and you're buying your first mechanical watch and you're spending like, $800 of your hard-earned money, God bless you. That's great. Like it's awesome. Keep going.
It all starts.
We got your friend Mike saying, Marco, have you ever spotted George St. Pierre? So I've told this story before. I'm not technically related to him, but technically I can say that I am slightly related to him. So my dad's cousin is married to his aunt. So I've only seen him like a couple of times, but yes, I've seen him. Yes, at family functions and what have you. So yes. He's a cool guy. Very, very down to earth. Very nice guy. We got Rez with the $10 saying, can the wizard tell the truck? LOL. I'll pull it up as soon as he comes back. And once he comes back, I'll definitely pull it up.
I see something here. Forgive me, guys. It says, Watch Sasquatch put himself in the back room to make more room for me. Should I get out? Because I don't want to jam.
No. It's okay. Yeah, here, I can always bring it back.
I don't want to do that to somebody. That's not nice.
No. By all means, I enjoy it. I just want to make sure because the screen gets all reconfigured.
Okay. I think it's great.
Cheers, gents.
There you go.
Like this. There
Great.
we go. But the wizard, we got Stefano. We got a question for you. Can the wizard tell the truck? And this is the truck right here.
Oh, Shelby.
Shelby Viper.
F-150.
Is that the Cobra version? Yeah, that is the Cobra version.
It's a Ford.
You got me on that, but I know it's a Shelby, obviously, and I know it's a Ford, but
I think it's a Roush. Is it not the Roush?
Is it?
No, that's
Edition?
not the Roush.
No.
No,
I think
Roush
it's
is
an aftermarket Volkswagen.
Huh. Rez, I don't know, man. I'm going to cheat a little.
You stumped
right now.
That's a gorgeous truck, though.
There it is. This Shelby Cobra pickup.
Yeah.
2021.
There you go.
It's an F50.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous truck.
I said Cobra, but I didn't know the F-150. And I'm not a pickup guy, so apologies.
Yeah.
Rez, thank you very, very much for the $10 super chat. Your insane generosity tonight. I greatly appreciate it. I can't say that enough. We got JJ from the Gentleman's Hangout saying, hey, just wanted to drop in and say hi out on the town. The screenshots must be on overload tonight. Man, do I got to tell you?
Yeah, Plastic's busy. Plastic's really busy tonight.
Marco, if I may, there was a question a bit up. Yep. It wasn't a super chat, but it was to Mr. Levin. What he considers his Trinity.
Okay.
Trinity? What do you mean Trinity? Sorry.
The Holy Trinity, your three top watches.
Here are Todd's
watches or watchmakers. Or brands.
The Trinity brands.
Yeah, brands or watchmakers.
Which the original Holy Trinity is.
The ones that I like, or the ones I think like technically probably. I mean, because people talk about the Trinity, just to be clear, right? Is like being Patek,
Vacheron, and
AP. Correct?
AP.
That's like the Trinity. I made
the old Trinity.
I made that mistake in my Hodinkee thing when I said that I felt that the Trinity was actually Patek, AP, and Rolex. And a lot of people
wrong from a
and I
retail
tried to explain,
standpoint.
that from my perspective as a watch buyer, with the alacrity that I see watches on the secondary market and coming up at auction, Vacheron seems to be far weaker in terms of their market awareness than certainly Rolex, AP, and Patek seem to me to be the big three. I said big three. I didn't say Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
I got in a lot of trouble. I got smacked down a number of times. So now I have to be super careful and ask exactly what the question is so I understand. Because I don't want all that stuff in the side over there to start like saying weird shit. So what are my Trinity brands?
Yeah, for you personally.
Personally. And by brands, can I say independents? Is that okay?
Sure, of course.
Absolutely.
Yes. That's what's expected of you, actually.
The greatest brands, I mean, are sort of the ones I discussed before that I think are out there. I would say I'll collapse Daniels and Smith together kind of into one continuum. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I will say Dufour would be its own continuum. So yeah, that's sort of British watchmaking. That's Swiss watchmaking. And the third one, I'd like to pick somebody really outside the box, maybe somebody who's really like young or something like that. Or, I know a lot of people would probably want me to say something like Journe, which I understand, or Grubel, which I understand, but I'm trying to think a little further outside of that. You know what? I'm going to come up with, I can think of two I'm really interested in that I think are exceptional, and one of them people hardly know. One of them is Acriva. For a younger one, I would say that would be younger. But for one that's just way outside the lines that people hardly even discuss, who I think is a superb watchmaker, both in terms of technical finesse and finishing, people rarely talk about him, is Beat Haldman. I think Haldman are technically.
Can you pull that up?
I think they're way beyond what Grubel or Journe is actually doing, both technically and from a finishing component.
You're talking Haldman, right?
Yeah, people just don't know the work very well. So that just may be too far outside the parameter.
If that's your Holy Trinity, that's your Holy Trinity.
But yeah.
I mean, earlier we were talking about Louis Monnier. What do you think about those watches?
It's interesting. I'd written in the side thing. Yeah, that's the large central flying tourbillon, which I think is just,
incredible. And this is even more technically impressive. This is isn't it a resonance double tourbillon?
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, this is really crazy. And we're talking handmade watches. There are three watchmakers. Literally the last watchmaker who joined his kind of studio, if you will, or his workshop was 25 years ago. So they've been making watches for a little while. And these are all handmade. Like we're talking the German version kind of George Daniels, right? Handmade watches made in-house with the highest level of quality, with the utmost kind of respect for finishing tradition.
Yep. I mean, maybe 10 pieces a year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Kind of thing like Roger. Kind of thing, like maybe 10 pieces a year. But I think that his work, the Monnier, just to answer, I'd written a thing in the side that I remembered that Monnier had, maybe you guys know what I'm talking about and can flesh it out, but he had done a piece unique, but it was a set of 4 watches. So it was like 4 unique watches, but as a one-off set, they weren't sold separately. And they each had, the faces included meteorites from like Mars, the moon, and 2 other far-flung places in the universe. And the set was like $4.6 million at the time. Do any of you guys know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I have no idea.
Is that
on their website?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Can I ask you? Can you give me the link for that, and I'll pull it up on the stream?
I just, it's just banging around in my head. I didn't.
I'm looking at this and I cannot find it. No.
Maybe
I'm sorry,
Google it. Try Googling rather than looking at it on the website. Put in Monet, meteorite unique, something like that. That'll probably bring it up. No?
Are we talking this right here?
No, that's a cheaper version.
No. Mm-mm.
That's my price range.
Yeah. You with your 18-year-old Balvenie. Okay.
I have this,
Exactly.
Playing the humility card.
Tempograph. The Tempograph Chrome by Monet, which I absolutely love.
No, I don't think I'm going to take your word for it because I don't think I'm going to find this. Just very quickly, I just want to get through these super chats. We got Grand Sickle with a $2.18 saying thanks for the effort and the streams. Well, thank you to you. It's very kind of you to have your support. Very, very grateful of it. I just want to see if there's any comments I should pull up. Any comments? Yes, we got 124 people watching, guys. Please do upvote because 100 upvotes, as Ali Reza just put in the chat, is a key metric for YouTube, guys. Very important. Alex with the $2 saying, I have a 6.5 interest. Which AP would you recommend for me? 15,200, right?
15,450 is another. 15,450, 37 mil.
Yeah, that's another good one. 37 mil or 39 mil.
Todd was talking about the Moonrace collection. There's only 4.
That's got to be it.
Yeah,
Moonrace it's called.
I'm glad somebody found it. So I thought
Yes.
I was going crazy there for a minute.
You got to go on his site, Louis Monet, and then see collections Moonrace.
I
Okay.
just got it. I got it. Here we go. Right over here. Just very quickly, I just want to get this because Rez sent in another $50. Rez, stop it. I'm cutting you off. No more, okay? Thank you very much. Saying great panel.
He's going to demand.
Hope Todd becomes a regular. Likewise, he said the wizard, it is Shelby
Super Snake. Thank you, Rez.
Yeah.
Well, Shelby Super Snake.
Is this these are the 4?
Yep, that's the ones.
So what are we looking at? Because this is
Funny, I don't remember them looking like that, but maybe that is them. So I'll believe you.
It says race to the moon.
Okay.
Moon race.
Well, that's about the moon race. These were just meteorite dials. They were less decorative,
right, so then,
less decorative, like with pictures on them.
Yes. Then you're talking about.
Funky.
Is it the Louis Monet Meteors? It's 4.6 million.
Meteorus. That's it. It's called Meteorus.
There you go.
Yes, that's the one.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's.
That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. Yep, that's it.
That smells like money.
There you go.
There you go, Morgan. That's your next watch, man.
There you go. Set of 4 though. Got to buy all 4.
Yeah, I got to be
for
honest.
$4 million.
That's a
What's
good
the big deal?
That's a good deal. Yeah, 4 watches.
Look, you can either get those 4 for the same exact price, 4.5. So you have $100,000 jingling around in your pocket after. You can buy the Richard Mille unique. No, it's actually an edition of 10 Tourbillon that Roman is selling. The and that's so it's either this or
that's petty cash, mere bag of dimes.
Yeah, it's a rounding error. It's a rounding error.
The RMs are like a Hublot. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Huh.
I'm not a Richard Mille guy.
I'm with you. I don't.
I'm not an arm guy either, but
I find the watches and the progression and the line fascinating. But I mean, I could never see myself wear one of those. Putting prices.
I will unveil it next week for you boys.
Are you talking about the Mille or the Meteorus you could never wear?
Both.
Definitely the Meteorus for other reasons, but the Richard Mille in particular.
And mostly because they're $300,000 and $400,000.
I mean, I find the whole line fascinating, and I find their ascension fascinating. To be honest, I do enjoy looking at the line, but I could just never see myself, wear one of those. And it's just this is a personal taste thing than anything else. I'm not going to say they suck because I have no idea, but I mean, I'll just say I just couldn't imagine myself wearing one of those.
Well, Nico calls it a very high-end Casio. So,
yeah. Well, I wouldn't go with that. I would still say that
on that. After our discussion the other day, I was exactly on the thing you were saying, because somebody had asked me what I thought about meals, and the thing is I can't wear them either. Yeah. I just couldn't, and the reason is because it's a watch, and this is great for some people. You know, it depends on who you are. That says, "Look at me."
Yes.
Look at me. Notice me.
There we go.
Look what I have. You know, it's something that you wear a watch like that to telegraph to other people. You're trying to communicate something, whatever that is, to other people by wearing that watch. Not a judgment thing, but you wear that watch to communicate to others. And you know, the last thing I want somebody to do is look at my wrist and see that I have a fill in the blank here thing on my wrist, whether it's Mila or even a Nautilus or even like a Rolex. Like I like a lot of some of the independents, like the things I own, because nobody has an idea that they are what they are, or they're worth what they're worth, or they're by their whom, or you know, or any of that. And I like really being able to wear nice things that I appreciate, but that fly under the radar at the same time.
Perfect.
That's how I feel about
and
the
the Neil
Breguet.
is really the opposite to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's the nouveau riche Bitcoin boys.
But it's okay. I mean, you know, I think those are cool. It's not like a meal bashing thing. It's just you wear certain kind of clothing or other accoutrements, watches, or a woman carries a certain kind of bag or whatever it is, because, you know, what we surround ourselves with is about not only telling ourselves who we are to ourselves, but signaling to others our ideas about things in general.
Yes. Like an ego crushed. An ego crush.
It signals, you know, to a certain extent, something about you that you feel that you want to communicate to other people who you feel will either know what that thing is on your wrist, or even if they don't, you know, have the, I would call it the gee whiz factor. You know, the oh wow factor or whatever, or the bling, or some people call it that. And again, there's nothing the matter with that. I think that's a matter of personal taste, and that's a matter of personal sensibility, and it's all fine. But it's, you know, like with what you're saying, I really agree. Like, I couldn't wear a meal because of that specifically.
That's exactly it for me.
Yeah,
that's exactly it for me. Same thing. Same thing. I mean, I find them fascinating watches. You know, I mean, I'm really interested in the models that come out. I find it fascinating, but I could never wear it for the exact way that you put it. Yeah.
And here's a perfect example. I don't know if you guys remember when I hate to bring this up, the TBG guy did his little video that he's sorry or this and that, and all the comments were, "Yeah, I'm really going to feel sorry for somebody with a Richard Mille watch on." That was the comment.
Yeah.
So that's telling you that him wearing that watch was actually a detriment to him.
He wore it to the gym every morning. Is Richard Mille. He would go work.
He's sold it now, so it doesn't matter. He's sold it.
Just very quickly, we got Rez. Thank you again for the $50. I really, really do appreciate it. We got Alex Permijo with a $5 super chat saying, RGM Pennsylvania Caribbean. What do you think? Now, I'm not sure what the model is because I looked it up and I can't find it. But this one is similar kind of to the Journe Tourbillon Souverain. I'm pretty sure RGM is made in
America.
Made
in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania, that's right. And listen,
is he that really, really interesting and good independent watchmaker?
Yes.
But he's like the only U.S. guy.
The only guy. That's the one Teddy Baldessari about a month ago did a whole episode.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's him. But yeah, listen, RGM is, I mean, excellent watch. No question about it. They do real, like, rose-laid guilloche on their dials. I mean, they're an excellent watchmaker, yeah.
How much is an RGM comparative to a J.N. Shapiro? Does anybody know?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I'm not sure. I think
an RGM watch it depends on what's gold, I think is between 25 and 35 for full.
It's gold. Right in the same. It's in
Breguet. It's kind of Breguet pricey.
Yeah. So it's right in the same spot as J.N. Shapiro. So the question is, if you wanted like an American, and I don't want to sound the wrong way, but let's just say a mid to low priced, you know, comparative to crazy prices for some of these independents, mid to low price American independent, would you do a Shapiro or would you do an RGM? Does anybody have an opinion?
Shapiro.
Why?
Well, Shapiro is known for his dials, right? That's what he's known for.
Right. It's the same.
And he's like a dial to me. Like, listen, there's two things I do to analyze. I analyze a watch from the inside out, right? You start obviously with the movement first, and then second with the dial, because if it's not something aesthetically pleasing, you're just never going to wear it. And to me, J.N. Shapiro is one of the most overlooked watchmakers. I mean, he's starting to become a lot more well-known, and mostly because of his amazing dial work. And for that reason alone. And he uses, what's it called? Agenor movements, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So tremendous movements as well. Very well finished, well executed. So, yeah.
Our gym has watches from $5,000 to
American
65.
It's interesting that we have these two American independents, and one of them, Shapiro, sort of idolizes the English style of finishing.
Oh.
I mean, they clearly look like Daniels and Smith. And then you've got the RGMs, who clearly seem to epitomize or relate to the Breguet Swiss style. Finishing. And so I just find that interesting that each has chosen their own very, very unique kind of aesthetic path to kind of, I don't want to say copy, but use their template for what they do.
I've seen one in
he's
person.
got watches from 8,000 to like 70,000. They just came out with a series of cloison enameling. He did like the Vacheron, the sails ship. So they're decent watches. I mean, they're made in America, right? So
when you look at them up close and in real, they're beautiful, but there's just something, so a watch can just be off. It's like, it kind of reminds me of those Chinese watches that are trying to look like something they're not, and it seems like they don't really have it. It just kind of looks forced.
RGM?
Yeah, they look forced.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't love this. So this is from
an interesting thing with Shapiro right here that you've put up.
Yeah.
He really does know how to finish. We all agree. He's wonderful at rose turning, at guilloche. But unlike Daniels or Smith, he doesn't know when to stop. He always goes one step too far into the decorative. He doesn't understand. He doesn't have a good design sense when it comes to restraint. This is
less is more.
This is like one step too close to like moving almost in like Jacob & Co. Territory in terms of its decorativeness. Like, this is much more sophisticated and elegant to me. This is, really nice. But that blue on blue thing was just a bit much.
So to that point, actually, the American watchmaker I like is Weiss. Because it's very simple. It's a very affordable brand, but he obviously he takes design cues from other folks, but it is completely original in that sense. Like, I don't feel like he's trying to be anybody else.
Who is this now?
Weiss. He's out of Los Angeles. I mean, his watches are like $1,500. They're not in the same league, but they're.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have Unitas movements, and then he used to be, actually, interestingly, I think he was a watchmaker for Vacheron, right?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
He used to work for Vacheron Constantin, and then he started his own brand. But just very quick, I just want to run through a couple of super chats, and I did get a PayPal from the last time that I did want to read out to you, and another question by email. I do want to get through these. We got Kurt A with the $5 saying, Cardinal, your streams are the main event. Excellent content. If I'm able to bring you guys entertainment, it's because I have an amazing panel of guests. So shout out to all the panel members. Thank you very much for being here. But I got a question, Todd, in from Julian. I don't want to reveal his last name. He said, hi, Marco. Cheers from a fan in New York. Thanks for all the great content. There's a God tier stream tonight. We're talking about, obviously, the last stream when you jumped on. He said, if you have an opportunity to ask Todd, we often hear about how sports watches are all the rage and that a beach to tuxedo watch is ideal. How does Todd handle the humid Northeast weather, travel, beach vacations, etc.? Does he wear any sports watches, even if they're not on the level of the rest of his collection?
I do not go to the beach because I have very pale skin. I burn like an albino under one ray of sun, and I have my own personal SPF rating. So the answer is no, there are no beaches for me. And in terms of sport, I mean, if I'm at the gym, I don't wear a watch because I think it's superfluous. But if I'm doing anything else, I'll wear any one of the watches that I have without, again, I don't fret about that sort of thing, a little sweat or something like that. So if I'm doing yard work, I don't take off my watch, or if I'm, I don't know what else there would be. What else did he say? Beach stuff. What else?
So he's asking if you how do you hold on? If you have ask about how rage sports watches are all the rage, and that a beach to tuxedo watch is ideal, which I would tend to disagree with that. And then how does Todd handle the humid northeast weather, travel, beach vacation, etc.?
Yeah, travel, no problem. I travel everywhere with my watches. I don't know why that would be an issue, kind of thing. I don't know what he's alluding to in terms of what the dangers of travel would be. In terms of the northeast weather, I mean, again, I don't know what the dangers would be. I mean, if it's raining out, I'm wearing something over my, wrist or whatever. So like anybody would, right? So, or in snow or whatever. So there's nothing there to worry about. So, yeah, I mean, if I was involved in a specific sport, like diving, let's say, and I needed a diver's watch specifically to fulfill that function, that would be one thing. But otherwise, aside from that kind of specificity, I'm not interested in the tuxedo / sports watch dichotomy. Like, it's like an artificial wall that's there that makes it's like when people talk about art and they talk about high and low or insider and outsider, like these kind of things, they mean nothing to me. And I have zero interest in kind of like trying to tie things down to certain categories. I think it's kind of useless. So if a watch is great and I believe that it's not so delicate that I'm going to really have to baby it, I probably wouldn't buy it in that, in that case. Then I'm going to buy the watch and wear it everywhere. Like you were talking earlier, you were saying, wow, the plates on these English watches are really thick. When you were discussing that earlier, the watches are meant to be worn.
Right.
So,
that's something that they made a point of, right? George didn't like watches in safes.
Despite
the obvious overwhelming value of the watch.
There's a great bit where you can find him on YouTube, and he's actually being interviewed, and he's talking about this, and he's got this very plummy, British accent, which is actually a bit at odds with his rather Dickensian upbringing. So I don't know. I think maybe his accent changed a little bit as he got posher, but he's got this very plummy English accent, and he's talking about a guy from Texas who wanted to buy a watch for him. So he does a Texas accent, but it's an Englishman. It's like, well, this Texas guy came to me and wanted one of my watches. Yeah. And when I asked him, why wasn't he wearing his watch? He goes, oh, I keep it in the safety deposit box at the bank all the time. And he said that he was really, really disappointed and angered him because he didn't want to sell watches to people who did that. Like, he was really against that. If he gave them to people, they were meant to give pleasure. They were meant to be worn. George was sort of, I guess you would say, hedonistic, like not in a negative way, but in terms of like he wanted his things to be of the world, to be used, to be experienced, on a daily basis, not just, little special things. I think he thought when he built his watches, they should be able to withstand, within reason, any kind of use and abuse that normal wear and tear could spit out.
Can I just bring this up because it is kind of funny, right? And Manfred brings up a good point, saying Dufour has his GMT, Rolex has his Explorer. So it's funny. The caliber of watchmakers they can still appreciate, serially produced watch, because Dufour has the Dufourograph, as it's now called, right? The rose gold black dial datograph.
Yep.
Which is a great watch, right? He has that as well. So, I mean, listen, watchmakers aren't just fans of their own brands, right? They very much so respect other watchmakers and other brands. And many times, I mean, look at Kerry. I like Kerry Voutilainen a lot. He used to work for Urban Jurgensen, and he bought for his 40th or 50th birthday an Urban Jurgensen Perpetual. I believe he got the number 2. Interesting fact about that is the dials were made by Derek Pratt. So that's
wow.
That's another watchmaker who a British watchmaker, very, very, very talented, but unfortunately his contemporary was Giordano, so he's fairly overlooked, unfortunately. But
yeah, the problem with the independents is that for somebody like Roger, he makes so few watches a year. He just finished his 100th watch, and the guy's 52, 53 years old. And so he's been very honest. He said, like, I don't have the time, because of my super reduced ability to make watches, to make a watch for myself. I'd have to prioritize myself over a client who's been waiting 5 years in line. I literally can't do that to somebody. So he can never really own one of his own watches, where George took a different view of that, which is he made one watch at a time, spent 2,000 hours on it, put it in his pocket until he started making the wristwatches. And then when he found the right person, he would take it out of his handkerchief and go, this watch is for you. And that was it. There was no discussing the price. That was it. And they bought it. And, and then he would make the next one. So I think the independents have a real problem with that, where some of the independents who have higher production numbers are able, if they want, to wear one of their own pieces. Dufour's made 200 watches. And I think the 34-inch that he wears on his wrist, the 34 Platinum Simplicity, was like the prototype. So he's wearing basically the prototype on his wrist.
Todd, how do you feel that somebody in an interview said...
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just want to, because he did send me a very nice donation. So you don't own any sports watches, right? You don't own anything sports related?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fair enough. Sorry, go ahead, Stefan.
Thank you. How do you feel when they said if there was such a thing as a blue chip watch collector, Todd Levin would be it? How did you feel about that
blue chip
statement?
He's got.
That's what he was. That's what they quoted him on First Dibs.
Yeah. Oh, that. Oh, well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if I were blue chip, I would think, to be quite honest, I think I'd have like super high-end Pateks and Rolexes.
Oh.
I mean, that's to me like really blue chip.
Yeah, that is real blue chip.
Yeah, I mean, to me, collecting the independents that I happen to collect are like, I mean, they're blue chip in a certain way, but they're not. Blue chip to me also doesn't mean necessarily, it means like high quality and
high quality, top notch,
relatively high price, but it also means like, it is it's like IBM stock. Like everybody knows what it is within that world, and it's kind of like an aspirational thing for almost anybody. Like to me, blue chip is a $24.99.
Right.
Aspirational is a 6538 Big Crown Rolex. Like those are blue chip watches to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Thanks.
And I did get one more question from Aaron asking. The question I would like to ask Todd is how he would approach watch collecting. Well, we kind of answered that, right? And what he would collect if he only had something like a $30,000 budget. I think that would be really interesting. And man, did he make me rethink all the Rolex hype. Well, the approach to watch collecting, right? You mentioned having those anchor pieces in your collection, right? Mm-hmm. So you start off with the anchor pieces, the pieces that you can build a collection around. I found this very intuitive. I never thought of it that way, right? And you kind of referenced it back to your art background, right? How you did the same thing in your personal art collection.
Mm-hmm. Well, in clients, yeah.
Or clients, yes, rather. But yeah, at $30,000, listen, there's a lot of watch you can get for that price. I mean, to me, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the five-letter Rolex word in that budget. You know what I mean?
To me, it would be a very sensible place to start. Like, why, if you were wanting to really get a good first watch, why would you discount a Rolex? Thinking at least about it seriously. Like, why would you discount that? I wouldn't. So the question is, I would have for all of you is, do you think it is like, let's say you decide, like, I'd really love to get a handsome Rolex, and I think I can get a very nice one for 30, 35, whatever that's a very good budget for a Rolex. The question is, are you buying the best vintage Rolex you can for that price? Are you going into an AD and trying to establish like a relationship, because it's time to do that? And with the understanding that your chances are like minimal of doing that because you're like a first timer and you're lucky if they'll even like sniff at you when you walk in. Or do you go in the middle and you go to like a gray market dynamic where you've done your research and you know the exact watch you want and you know what it should cost? But you're not going to get it from the AD. So, but you can get it on the gray market by paying, some overage, but then you're getting the thing you want. So do you dig into the vintage world, which seems a little dangerous? Do you try to establish the AD thing, which is hard? Or do you go gray market, which some people would shake their heads at kind of thing? So none are perfect options, but which way would you go? I mean, I don't know which way I would go. So I want to know what you guys would do.
I would go gray market. And
because
at that price level, I would say a gold Submariner, maybe.
But no, why would you go? The watch doesn't matter, but why would you go?
Because
why wouldn't you
I
go?
don't want to play the game. I don't want to go walk in there and kiss their ass and make them think I'm a great guy and I've got a lot of money and, come in with my watch on and like, ooh, I don't want to play that game. I'm too old for that crap. So I just
I'm
You
the
and me
same
both.
way.
Edgar.
I'm the same way.
I'd rather pay more
Yeah.
and not have to kiss ass.
Okay.
A certain
Charge a lot of
percentage
money
more.
for
Me
ass
too.
kissing.
Anybody else?
Is Rolex?
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
choice? Is Rolex the choice, or are you speaking specifically about Rolex?
Well, let's just
No,
stick with Rolex
$30,000
for now because that's a good base.
Starting
then
Yeah.
Rolex, I would say same thing, gray market, because
Gray market.
the chances I wouldn't go with vintage. There's all sorts of risk associated with that, aside from
Okay.
part shortages and finding appropriate watchmakers, right? But I would go gray market, because otherwise you are going to be waiting, and resentment is going to grow quite a bit. And frankly, the way the market is going, there is no sign that Rolex is bringing either more supply, more innovative watches, or frankly, like based on the announcements that, and we don't know if Paul Thorpe is right, but based on the announcements Paul Thorpe made today, like they're going more ostentatious. So just go to the gray market before everything gets even more out of hand.
Huh. Okay. I didn't hear anything. So okay.
He's
I
releasing
think
them
at that
tomorrow.
price point, there's only one choice, and that's gray market. Because, I mean, if it was a little bit more, there are some precious metal pieces that make sense to get at the gray market, because by the time you pay the 80 price plus tax, you're right at gray market, maybe a couple $1,000s, so it's very negligible. But I think at that 30,000 price range, you're gray market, and it's a tough pill to swallow for somebody coming into the hobby, because at that price point, you're probably looking at paying at least double, probably 1.5 to 3 times MSRP for a watch. It's going to be a hot model, so it's a tough pill to swallow. So I think it's difficult for somebody who loves, let's say they love the brand, they really are a genuine horological admirer, they want to come into the hobby, and their financial situation allows them to go Rolex, and they want Rolex. It's very discouraging, I think, for someone in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think personally, you could build a kick-ass collection for $30,000. I think, listen, I'm going to fall back on my background and say Rolex is a great sports everyday watch, right? They're super versatile, super great tool watch. You can wear them every day, beat them up, and, it'll outlast you. It'll outlast your family, your children, your children's children. They're made to last, right? So, honestly, I would look at, for $30,000, probably a Rolex sub, maybe a Note 8 sub, 40 mil, the 114060, which is the one I have. And then you get a sub that's your everyday watch, and you get a dress watch. And this one just sold, I guess, because it's the Cardinal effect, right? It's the Marco effect. The Moser from Pride and Pinion, this Brian Ferry Moser, it's absolutely gorgeous. They just had this up for,
Beautiful.
I think it was like, what, $13,000? $13,000. So let me pull a better picture. So Moser, Brian Ferry limited edition. So interesting part about this Moser is it's actually the smallest watch Moser has ever made at 38.8 millimeters. And if you look at this dial, right, first of all, it's got this really nice granular texture, and it kind of harkens back to old Moser pocket watches. It's like a three-step case, right? Three kind of what's it called? 3 kind of segments with the kind of hollowed out mid case. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. And then the movement on this is spectacular. I mean, you get that 2-piece right there is fantastic. But you can even go with something like a Kudoki 1 or a Kudoki 2. That's also a great option. Maybe a Habring, like a Habring chronograph. That's another great option. Listen, $30,000. I think you're looking at 2 solid pieces, 2 really, really good pieces.
Yeah.
And
Guys,
if
I'm going to have to run. It's been an extreme honor to be with you tonight. Thank you for popping my cherry.
Thank you for joining, man. You're welcome anytime, man. Happy
Next
to have
time I want Drew here, or
Yeah.
just kidding.
But yeah, thank you for
It's been a
joining.
lot of fun. Thank you so much. I got to feed my dog. He's very
Love your little doggy. He's a cutie.
His
See you,
name is Carter. He's a little
Carter.
red poodle.
Oh,
Carter,
Nice
red
Carter.
poodle.
your little
Take
fur
care, you
baby's
guys.
cute.
I hope to see you in the future.
Take care, Morgan. Ciao.
Take care. Great to see you.
Have a great evening.
But yeah, guys, listen, we're all we're a pretty welcoming bunch. Anybody's welcome on the stream. We have a pretty open format. If anybody wants to join. Actually, what I'll do is I'll drop the link if anybody wants to join.
Wings and watches. What were you saying to Todd?
Yeah, and I think just to kind of cap off to Mr. Levin's question, I think one of the things that people like myself getting into watch collecting are coming to understand is that it really is a passion asset at the end of the day. I'm not going to be going into something where it's like a resale thing, but if I can get a piece at an AD, typically I'd be buying from the salesperson. I'd be buying the salesperson himself. Knowing how the game is played, even on the gray market, I would rather prefer going to a gray market dealer such as Stefano or Pride Pinion or whomever you prefer, as long as you have a good relationship. Because some of these AD games, it's getting a little tedious, and seeing people that having the money to be able to buy these watches and not being able to, it's disconcerting at times.
I was just at my AD for my Rolex AD last week, and they had nothing, zero, bone dry everywhere. And she had the nerve to say to me, and she was being polite. She was saying, we don't recommend you buy from the gray market. So, like, my response to her was, okay, well, where would you like me to go? Where would you like me to buy from then?
Yeah.
She had nothing to say to me.
So that I was called. I think Ari, this. I was called by the AD. They told me I could choose one of three watches. Right, there were two Rolexes and one Vacheron. They knew I wanted the Vacheron, but it was like a game. It was a toy. Right, they were toying with me, and I'm like, that's that's why people go to the gray market now, because Nico himself responded to a very simple JLC. We're not even talking Rolex, right? Nobody else responded for a solid 2 months.
Yes.
Right. Pride and Pinion, at least said, we will go find it for you. Right. And we're not talking about a Daytona, we're talking about a JLC Polaris Mariner in this case. Like, you should call me back. It shouldn't take the type of acrobatics it does to work with an AD now. And it's starting, the acrobatics are starting to play that way in some markets for like a Tudor. And you kind of sit there and go, okay, is this really where you want to go?
Sorry to interrupt, Ari, but
go for it.
I think one of the things that I remember, looking forward to, is getting my first timepiece at an AD. Getting that whole experience, walking in and feeling like $1 million. But I actually got that from a gray market boutique instead, where you would think nowadays, with the hard work that people are putting forth to be able to afford such pieces, doesn't matter what your budget is, you would think that you'd be treated equally. It's not. It was shocking to me, but such is life, I guess, right?
My FedEx guy probably thinks I have a crush on him when it comes to my AD purchases, because I'm so happy when he rings my doorbell. But the boutique purchase experience, it is cool, and even if you're just buying a stainless steel sub, they make you feel great. But at the same time, I wish they would have told me, look, we love you today, but you're nothing. Don't hold your breath on getting the other pieces you've requested, because I wasted a lot of time, and I just had actual really good conversation with another AD here today. So I'm back on AD. Those of you that have chatted with me before, I've always kind of crabbing about ADs, and had a really good discussion. What I'm finding is the ADs that really want you as a customer and will cater to you are the ADs that are in the same situation we are as collectors. They're not getting the pieces, so they're quite happy to have you in the shop. They're quite happy to talk with you. They're quite happy to maybe sell you something else, but they're also not getting the pieces. But I feel that I have a better chance with an AD like that, because I'm really building a relationship. I'm talking to the owner of the store, along with maybe family members that are working in the store. I just feel better in that environment. I come from a small business environment. I just feel better there, and we'll see where it goes. But
yeah, listen, I think one thing that is lost on people is we are like walking on eggshells to give our business to somebody else. I mean, it's just insane. Like when you think about it, right? You think about the fact that you have to walk on eggshells, like beg and plead and like practically like, get on your knees and start, saying the Hail Mary and Our Father to get a Rolex wristwatch from an authorized. That's why I'm just totally turned off by, like, listen, I have the GMT, I have the Submariner. Like I bought both of them on the gray. Well, one was from the gray market, one was, from a personal from a person, right? But man, apart from that, forget it, man. It's just like I don't get it, and it's like we have to be grateful that we're giving them our business. You know what I mean? Like Nico said it right in one of the streams. Like I sell a luxury product, I have to give a luxury service. I mean, to me, it's the same principle with ADs, and so many of them just don't understand. Like for a lot of people, buying a Rolex is like a lifetime of work. These aren't cheap watches by any means. I mean, we're talking about Moser and Philip Dufour and Roger Smith and some of these other independents. I mean, forget those guys. We're talking about one Rolex for some people. I mean, some people can't even achieve it. For some, it's like a lifetime of work, 10, 20, 30 years to work just to get the one watch. And then to get treated like that, just it totally turns me off of the brand.
Oh, it's same here. I'm with you there.
No,
That's why there's the gray market.
Yep.
Yeah.
And honestly, at a gray market boutique, and I've been seeing consistently, it doesn't matter how much money you're spending. It's just you're being treated like $1 million every single time.
Yeah, whether you're buying a $3,500, I don't know, Breitling, or you're buying a $50,000 meteorite dial white golded, GMT.
Yeah,
the service is the same. You're treated equally.
Look, this is Kurt says that's why there's Omega. Yeah, but people like what they like. They like the crown. They like the crown. Don't overlook don't mess with the crown, right? But I mean, listen.
Well, the ADs have the same kind of. It's interesting. Seem to have taken on the same sort of sensibility as art galleries. When you go to purchase a piece of art in a gallery, galleries are shops, but of a very odd sort, because they not only control the supply, which is to be expected, but they also control the demand. So it's not enough to walk in and say, how much is this thing? The first question they're going to ask you, rather than give you the price, is, who are you? And you're going to have to give them a litany of, other artworks you own, or the advisor you work with, or other pieces you bought at the gallery or at other galleries. And there's this dynamic that's involved, which is very, very unusual, where the demand is the thing that they're trying to control as much as the supply. And it's successful in a gallery dynamic because the things that they are selling, to the most part, are unique. Even though if it's another work of art by the same artist, each one of the works themselves is unique. And so the entire power dynamic becomes less about being able to buy a thing, as is whether you have enough money or not, or how wealthy you are. And it's simply about access. And that's why, in the art world, people like me exist, because I'm the one who has relationships with galleries for 40 years. And so I have a certain reputation. So if I walk into a gallery with a client, they're more likely to give my client, the time of day if they walk in with me, as opposed to if they walk in by themselves. So they're willing to pay my fee, and that's why many advisors get hired. To a large extent, it's less the educational modality, it's the access modality. And I've been very, very surprised that there aren't a situation like that doesn't exist within the watch world at this point, where there are like watch advisors, for lack of a better term, who really have great relationships with all these ADs within a certain city, and can walk a client in and sort of cut the line and bypass people, and understand that the access point is the demand control. And it allows them to establish, it allows the potential client to establish relationships and to get the access that they're trying to get much more efficiently. It's interesting to me, it would be like a concierge service, if you want to think of it that way. Right. But I'm surprised that aren't people like that exist in the art world as people like me, exist. I mean, in the watch world, as people for me exist in the art world.
So, and the most expensive piece of art I bought was from Rodel Gonzalez, right? So we're talking $6,000, right?
Yeah.
So
but
I don't have.
But it's about the access, you know.
Yeah,
Well, the thing was, I go to, like, in St. Augustine, Florida. I go to the art galleries there. I go and I know nothing about art other than I like what I'm looking at, and I tell them that up front, and they will go take the art. They will hang it in the appropriate the viewing room, right? They'll let me stay in there for as long as I want and admire it. They'll educate me about the lighting, anything I need to know about the piece, and if I have the money, they will let me buy it and walk out with it. There are a couple of notable ones on Instagram who are just brand advisors for watches. They will do their personal shoppers for watches. They work through gray market, but they do provide that. The thing about the Rolex AD is, I'm using St. Augustine. There's a Rolex AD in St. Augustine. I can go to the Rolex AD, and they treat the Rolex as an ultra high-end piece of art, right? And Rolex just isn't. Rolex is a nominal BMW or Mercedes Benz. Like, it is not an Aston Martin or Bentley, right?
Right.
So what they're doing is, this is my opinion, and because I'm not a fan of the Rolex make anymore. What they're doing is they're crushing their own market by trying to present themselves as a Patek, and they're just not. And they're creating a lot of space below them, and part of that space is for their own, Tudor mark, but they're creating a lot of space below them for Omega and other folks to come up and just take that business. And I'm happy for that, frankly. I'm happy that they're creating that space because I think it's utterly ridiculous the way they treat people. Because Marco's right, depending on the AD, not all ADs are this way. Like, I drive an hour across the state to go to the same mayors, still mayors, but the mayors close to me versus the one that's close to Disney World treat people completely differently. And I go to the one an hour away from me because they treat me like a human. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing when I walk in. They treat everybody very nicely, very kindly. They're very forward, right? They tell me what it is. But the mayor's close to me, it is begging and pleading. It's like Marco says. It's absolutely like you are demeaning yourself to even have the conversation with them.
Right. 100%. Now, can I ask you something, Todd? Because I only have one piece of art. I want to know how I did. It's a lithograph.
I'm not going to do this. No. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to make.
No, seriously, I want your honest critique. It's like a watch critique. You know what I mean? Like,
I cannot look at a piece of art on literally a 1/2 inch by 1 inch screen and that's backlit and make any kind of value.
No. I just want to ask you. It's a lithograph from Leonardo Neerman. That's the artist.
Yeah, I know Neerman's work.
I'm a big fan of Neerman. I don't know why, but it's just cool.
There's a good book on his work after he died that a friend of mine, Jan F. Chikos, wrote the foreword for. I don't remember which catalog, though, it was. But
yeah, interesting. Yeah. Hey, what can you do?
Okay.
I'm not a big art guy. Again, it's all about the watches for me. It's all about
the price point. At the price point that you, before you jump on to the next thing, at the price point that you're going to buy that for, how much? Can I ask how much it was?
Oh, it wasn't expensive. I paid.
Or you can say it was between X and Y. If you don't, you can.
It was $200. I'm not even framed and everything.
How much?
$200.
Knock yourself out by exactly what you want and don't listen to anybody else. At the $200 level, there's no reason to do anything but that. If you said, I paid $20,000 or maybe even $2,000, I might be a little concerned. But for $200, that's not even you know what I mean? It's silly to get involved in those sorts of discussions.
Right. It's a limited edition #1 of 150. That's the only reason I bought it, because #1. That's
in the art world, by the way, that doesn't matter whether it's number 1 or number 149. I'll tell you a funny. Well, why don't you do your thing? But I have a funny story about this because I'd be curious to hear.
Say it. Okay.
When I bought my Daniels anniversary, I had 2 choices at that time. There were 2 coming up on the market. One privately, and one was coming up in about a month at auction at Phillips. And I had to decide. And it was difficult because it was sort of like a gamble. So the one that was coming up privately happened to be number 4 of 35, okay? The one that was coming up at auction, all right, happened to be number 24.
Oh.
To me, this makes no difference because in the art world, that would never make a difference. Now, I walked in to see my friend who works at Phillips, and he knew that I was looking at the one privately. I was very transparent about it. I said I wanted to see the one they had. It was very nice. Condition was great, had everything. And then he said this really interesting thing to me. And I think he was speaking from like an auction point of view, but he said, you know, for many Asian buyers, and Asian buyers are certainly a big market for watches, the number, like number 8 is considered a very auspicious number, as I'm sure many of you know. Number 4 is like the least auspicious number. It signals death.
Death.
So 4 is like really bad. So they had 24, which evidently is also not an auspicious number either, but 4 is, you know, considered like the prime version of it because it's by itself. So it's like really negative. So he's like, I don't think you should buy the number 4 watch. And I was thinking to myself, you know, do I really have to actually engage this sort of nonsensical, like superstition bullshit because like it might affect the Asian market if I ever want to sell this thing? I mean, literally, I had to think about this because it was an expensive purchase. You know, so you have to think about it. So I called up a client of mine who I work with who happens to be Chinese, mainland Chinese, lives in San Francisco part of the time and in Beijing. And I told her this story and I said, do I need to think about this? If you were buying a painting and it was edition 1 of 10, and I showed you, and you really wanted it, and I showed you it, and it said number 4 of 10 on it, would you like have a seizure about it? And she was like, look, for some people who are like old fashioned, maybe this matters a little bit. Sometimes like they don't want their house to have that number in it. That's bad. Or like the floor of a hotel. But she said, aside from that, people don't go around like worried that like their fork has 4 tines on it instead of 3. And then they want to put, you know, like that's nonsense. So I thought about it a great deal. And I decided that I was going to buy the one from the private dealer first, because I thought that the one at auction, which was coming a month later, would do better. And, you know, this would be a wiser way to buy this, which is in fact what happened, actually. And afterwards, you know, as time passed, I was like so glad I didn't engage with that numerical nonsense, superstition crap. But for a minute there, like they really had me by the short and curlies, like scared to death. Like if I bought something with the number 4 in it, it would be like the end of my like watch buying career, and I would like rue the day. And we're talking about this, of course, right on, oh, well, it's now 12:30, but we were talking about this on Friday the 13th, you know. So,
right.
you know, but it's just like a funny story about this number. I don't know if any of you have engaged any of this stuff before, but it was
when I lived in Hong Kong.
It was a weird eye opener for me, like how nonsensical some of these details are. Right. It's a freaking Daniel's anniversary. There's only 35 in yellow gold, for Christ's sakes. Like I'm going to get involved whether it has a 4 in it, you know? So, yeah.
Right. I just want to get this very clear. We got Jason Martin with the $5 saying, I bought my Air King gray market. I was tired of the ADBS, so I got tired.
Okay.
I tired of buying 3 watches between Mayors and J.R. Dunn.
What is Mayors? You were talking about that. Is that a watch dealer? I'm sorry.
It's a department store.
It's a chain of
jewelry stores.
So is that considered the gray market, or is that considered an
They're
AD?
official ADs. They're official ADs.
They're official
They're
ADs.
ADs. Okay.
Interesting.
It's like Burke's in Canada.
Okay, got it.
But what you said is I faced it enough times through some people, some upper middle class, some upper rich. And when I lived in Hong Kong, there were those that would not touch anything with a 4 on it. 168, 888, not a problem. 24, 34, 4, not 44, but 54. But number 4, they consider it very taboo. It's death. So no white flowers, no 4th floors in Hong Kong.
I guess I'm not selling my Daniel's anniversary then to the Asian. I guess it's.
I'm sure you're not concerned, Todd.
Gonna have to go to another continent.
There you go. Has to go to Europe.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find a buyer. Yeah.
We got Jason with another. Yeah, no question. Yeah, definitely. I doubt you will have a hard time finding a buyer. Jason Martin with $5 again saying, "Watch Eric can confirm there are more Rolex watches in the Siebold building. There are some crazy stories like ADs using steel to move precious metal. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, it's called negotiations 101. You have leverage, right? You're going to squeeze the leverage as much as you can when you have something rare and desirable, and then ultimately take advantage of the leverage, right? It's just natural negotiating. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that you see at a lot of the Rolex ADs, if you're fortunate enough, is the all ever rose or gold pieces, and a lot of them are incredibly expensive.
Oh,
So
yeah.
for your normal everyday buyer, it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's not for you.
Not for me. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop the link
Right
if anybody
now.
wants to join the after show. But guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap this puppy up. Otherwise, we're going to drag on for another 3 hours. I could listen to Todd speak all day.
Yeah,
And I
agreed.
want to say thank you, of course, to Ari, the watch wizard, Stefano. Stefano, we got to start dropping your link in the chat. Hold
No
on
problem,
one second,
buddy.
you guys. Everybody, stay here. Stay here. Wizard. There it is. Here it is. I'm going to drop the link to the wizard in the chat. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out his channel, guys. But on that note, I'm going to wrap this show up. I want to thank Ari. I want to thank the wizard, Ali, Wings and Watches, Horology, and, of course, Todd for joining us for another conversation. Always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you again.
sir.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Good night.
Guys.